Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try SkinPlace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. SkinPlace.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
Welcome back, everybody, to the European Series 5 of CCT Season 2. And we're back once again with the round of 16 matches. We've got some banger matches coming up today, and I'm joined by none other than Oversard and Nexus, who had the pleasure of arguing about Dust 2 yesterday, and I feel like we might do that all over again. I've quickly realized that the toxic relationship between you guys is hinging on being able to badmouth whatever was last added to the map pool. Over?
Well, you're not that wrong, actually.
Wow. I mean, I know I could be stuck up sometimes, but goddamn, I don't deserve that.
Wow, so we're starting straight up with like that one partner.
Marriage counselor, yes.
I mean, I don't get paid enough for that, to be honest.
I mean, this is like couples therapy at this point, so we might as well go for it. But yes, we kind of love-hate Dust 2 in a way. We hate. Well, we've got a hate relationship.
Well, guys, as your therapist, I'm about to tell you that your card has actually declined. So I'm going to be bringing all of your trauma back, and with that, we're also going to be focusing on the games. Yeah, I can see why you guys have a turbulent relationship. That being said, though, we've got the tournament format coming up for you. So we're in the round of 16 right now. That means we are, in fact, in the playoffs, and we're already done with the play-ins, we're done with the group stages, and now we've got the teams that have qualified all the way from the play-ins, and they're going up against the big boy invited teams. And for today, the first match we've got coming up is Passion UA versus 3D Max. Then we've got Permita versus Paravision, Big versus Space later in the day. And then that final game, the cherry on top, is going to be Game & Gladiators versus Gun 5. That being said, though, boys, preliminary thoughts on 3D Max versus Passion. Over. Let's start with you.
Yeah, the French organization 3D Max, they've been a part of the scene since I can remember effectively, back in 2014, 2015, when I first really started seeing them. Names that we very much recognize from the old days: Maka, Jocko, Lucky, Exercise. I mean, these guys, they've been around so long. Faraz, you were still in diapers by that time. Gravity, kind of the youngest on the squad, but hell,
I really right there in the diapers with Faraz.
Yeah, I was about to say. I really like where 3D Max is heading. I really like how it's looking. They might not be the youngest squad, but hell, if they're not really, really good right now. Really in a great spot in my eyes.
Yeah, and of course, we've got to look at the other side of the spectrum, though, as well, right? We've got to look at Passion UA. And, you know, this team isn't particularly old. They were formed, like, about a year ago, and by that time over, you were already in your late 30s. So back then, you know, back in your day, these guys actually kind of sprung onto the scene in full force. Like they're kind of smurfing with what was expected of them initially. The fact that they've just shot up to that rank 50 mark, and I know the HLTV rankings can get a little bit shaky when you're around that 30 to 50 mark, but they've honestly really impressed me. Every single time I see these guys, you know we're in for a treat. And they, with the average age on these guys being about half of overs, they've actually really impressed me with the amount of maturity they've been able to show, Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me for my thoughts on the game instead of just over, but, you know, that's fine. I would have said one word, and that's going to be a banger. I'm looking at this roster. I do share your exact thoughts as well, and I'm very happy because I've been shilling these guys for a good while. I got CR'd on board as well. And good to know I've got another one as well, because these guys are a goddamn good team, and I'm loving Jambo. He's going to give us yet another masterclass. Every single time we play, it's going to be a Jambo masterclass. Never had not happened. I am loving it. He's just kind of the GOAT, some might say.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like, I mean, I think that matchup is just going to be incredibly fun to watch. Jambo, he's been delivering on all fronts, but it's kind of been the case on all of Passion UA. Like they've been able to maintain some incredibly good ratings, and I think 3D Max are also in the same camp. They've really shot up recently, so it's going to be a very, very fun match to watch. But we've got to figure out where this battle is going to be taking place, and that's why we've got the veto ready for you.
No, that's two. No, that's two. There goes Nuke. Out goes Mirage. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a dangerous veto, I'll say. Because Dust 2 potentially could be picked here as well by 3D Max. Very possibly.
I mean,
it's interesting, actually.
I've got my fingers crossed because I'm not sure if I'm ready for, like, another therapy class.
You just want to see Nexus suffer. Just admit it. Come on.
No, I've got my fingers crossed for no Dust 2, actually, because I would be really worried for Passion if they ever let it through, because they are just not very tenured on that.
Yeah, they've played it plenty, but haven't won more than twice, so it's a punish pick. I imagine now the second wave's coming through, that's going to be the Passion ban here.
It should be. It will be. Yeah. And by the way, just to put my thoughts in as well for Passion UA, I really like what I see. I really like what I saw. And Fear has been a great IGL, leading by example. Jambo, you know, Nexus said everything that needs to be said about him. And the rest of the team, whilst usually a little bit more quiet, they're always there for each other. They're always there when it comes down to the important moments. And even with the 3D Max side being generally far more experienced than Passion UA, it's going to be really hard because individually Passion UA is currently on the top of their game.
Are you also in the same boat?
Yes. I'm a big fan of this Passion UA. I think they are peaking very early in this team as well. I mean, it's still just, you know, 3 months since they added Fear, the new IGL for this roster. He, like as Theo said, he's leading by example. He has had massive games as well, when it's not just him calling, but it's him fragging out as well. As another dangerous element to this roster, other than just Jambo and Jacasmo, is an incredible pickup, I think, and has worked out very well. So I'm very happy to see them. I'm very hopeful to see the best out of them as well, because, you know, they've had a couple of rough times in the, rough games in the playoffs here in CCTs here. Right, they went up against like the likes of Furia, then Zero Tenacity, right in the round of 16s, for example. So they've not had the best of opportunities to make those deep runs, but they have made a fair few of them now back to back, and here's got to be a third one, right? So they are reaching their potential here. It's just about making sure they can keep that consistency up, and I'm hoping to see that.
You know, the fact that they've actually been able to push back against the likes of Zero Tenacity, you know, completely just pummeling teams like Rare Atom that, you know, have still been able to put up some really solid performances, and every single time they kind of go up against a team that is about their level, they end up just completely steamrolling them, like we saw about a week ago against Aurora Youngblood. This is a team whose ranking or whose current status hasn't completely been cemented. It's sort of this team that with every official, they're going to be getting better, right? We're not sure which Passion's going to be showing up today, but we do know that the likelihood of it being in that upwards trajectory is very, very high. Their graph of improvement has pretty much been linear all the way through their journey. And you guys mentioned they've picked up Fear as well in the past few months, and that's been a great addition. He's been able to frag out just as well. Jambo's the masterclass author. So they've got all the right pieces. But I'd also love to hear a little bit more about the side of 3D Max, because I think heading into this game, right, we've all been kind of playing the underdog angle a little bit too hard. I do still think that 3D Max are pretty heavily favored to take this.
I mean, it's in a way an argument you could definitely make with Maka leading the team. There's obviously always a chance that, you know, the calls, the play, the performance will be better than Passion's UA, especially since Passion UA are, whilst very tried and tested on most maps and in most scenarios, there can always be that sense of, okay, Yambo is not hitting, Fear is having a tough time calling great rounds, Eschila is completely non-existent on the server, Zero Fix is not able to perform, and then on the other side you got Jocko, you got Lucky, two players that, you know, have a load of experience under them, exercise as well, and whilst they might be individually a little less, a little less threatening, you got Gravity as the new guy who's going to be popping off, the one we're going to be looking for, and honestly, there is a chance that it could go, like, I don't want to say either way because it sounds corny, but honestly, it all depends on how Passion UA step up on map 1, how much of a show they give us, or at least to 3D Max, and then how much 3D Max can kind of stop that progression. But I still have an inkling that Passion UA is going to be steamrolling, or they're going to be steamrolled. There's going to be no in between. I don't see a 50-50 chance here. I see either full one way or full other way. You know, I don't see the balance, I would say.
That's very interesting, because, like, Nexus, first I want to hear from you. Like, would you say you're in the same camp in that regard?
Weirdly enough, kinda.
Because I personally think that this is going to be a close match. I don't really think that it's going to be all or nothing. I think Passion, I don't particularly believe that they'll be able to win it out, but them taking a map is probably more likely than anything of the sort where it would be one-sided. That's my opinion. Nexus, I'd love to hear. Well, I just got the call from the producer. The game is actually live, so we don't need to speculate anymore. That being said, take it to the game, boys. I will see you on the other side with the analysis.
Thank you, Valdeity. But yes, well, whilst we might have different opinions as to how this game is going to go, obviously Passion UA, they still have to show us here on Ancient what the hell they've planned up. It is their map pick. It is the first map. The pistol kicks off on the T side for them with me, Nexus, and I gotta say, this looks like it's going to be a pretty straightforward B take as they clear out two players. Gravity comes in swinging, but it ain't enough yet.
Not just yet. The bomb goes down for the CT side. It's Lucky and Exercise to give us a bit of a show for the retake here. They do have a couple of individual duels headed their way, mainly toward a cave, and Eschila holding a bit of an off angle. At least it's got to be somewhat harder to clear. That would have been unless his legs weren't spotted. But now it is on to Exercise in 1 versus 2. Time is the biggest enemy at the moment. We gotta try to bait him out, but yeah, there should be no choice or no chance, no kits. Even if he gets this one. All Fear would have had to do was make sure he stays alive for a couple extra seconds. There was no kits.
Exactly.
And everything is A-okay for Passion UA.
And they start off pretty well. Quick push in towards Cave. There were two players ready for them. It looked like 3D Max could have held their ground, especially with the crossfire they've had set. But it seems like none of that comes true. As Gravity finds two, the rest fall through. As it is Passion UA, as you said, with picking up the pistol. But we kick off into a full eco. Love to see it. You know, we've been very, very critical of CT sides that have been forcing up a lot on the second round, right, after losing the pistol. And with a good reason. You kind of have to take every round you can get without giving too many free ones to your opponent, and forcing up usually means you give a free one up.
Oh.
But this is interesting, as they lose Eschilla as well. Hello. That's a lot of damage on an eco. But at the end, still cleaned up, though. 3 kills, very good. I mean, USBs only, 3 kills? Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take that any day of the week.
I will have to agree with you there, but now let's see where do we actually go. But the guns are coming out with both teams, of course. CT side, it's going to be interesting to play Ancient like this, because you eco that second round means that there's not going to be a whole lot of util for this one. Definitely a bit of an interesting one, but let's see what Passion as well want to do about it, because they should be able to read this, right? If they want to wait it out a little bit more, maybe to give 3D Max that map control to retake it with that util belt that Passion is bound to have.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it could end up being a real rough time for 3D Max, but for now, it's mid control coming through. There's not much of a challenge for the CT side. It's especially not now, because they're re-smoking toward red. Maka's not going to be spraying through. They're going to wait for the players toward Dota to get some sort of contact. There's pretty much a trap they're trying to spring. But the first one comes out, it's going to be lucky to go out. Maybe the CT side now immediately in a 4v5 to figure this one out.
Jocko takes a bit of fire as well. He does take Jacasmo down to 70, but the Molotov onto default, burning, killed. As there's still a fight both Gravity and Jocko. That's B-side falling apart. And it is going to be a 3-0 start off. Okay. This is a quick opener. By the way, I know he's not, but it looked like for a second that Maka might be shirtless with his beige-like shirt. I was like, Maka rocking, you know, the Ro16. I was like, damn, maybe he's really ready to carry, but not going to happen.
You can see the rest over on his x.com.
The rest you can... Oh no. Yeah, since now explicit content is apparently allowed. Oh yeah, I saw the likes are private, plus the explicit content is now allowed, which is mind-boggling to me, but okay. In any case, let's not...
I mean, they just need any sort of traffic they can get at this point.
That is true, that is true. Apparently there's a ton of bots as well that are just spamming the whole site. Yeah,
in case you haven't seen the last 2 years, yeah.
I mean, yes, I unfortunately have checked my picks in bio, right? Yeah. In any case, round 4. Let's see if the 3D Max's round will be a little bit more terrible than what X is going through right now. We are going to have 2 rifles that were saved up, the rest going into pistols, so effectively an eco. But this is still a very dangerous round that cannot be toyed with, and we already have an immediate tactical timeout for 3D Max. The French will take a moment here to discuss what their next plan of action will be. And I do like that early on. They can try and kind of get their thoughts together and make sure the right plan is in motion. I'm more... perhaps the biggest interest I have right now is how are they going to approach, you know, the opping scenario, right? Do they plan to buy the op? Usually you'd care to see it on the CT side. Do they plan to set up something for Passion UA, a honeypot where they can catch them off guard, find a few kills for free? Let's find out for sure. Mid control going to be contested. And Passion is going to walk out A, leaving Jacasmo to kind of solo his way on B towards Speedway. Oh, that smoke into Donut. That is just such a good sell. That's round.
A side gets taken for free. No much the CT side are going to be able to do about it. Deep smoke. Molotov to go along with it. They've padded the utility pretty damn well here. It's SGL who takes control, and now he's got a teammate as well to help him out of this. if necessary. Fix jiggling for information. His teammate might swing with this information, but it's Marcus M4 that does deliver the first one.
What is happening?
Making it at least
Zero
doable
fix.
or expensive for the seaside. Still no kit. That is going to make things, you know, most likely not going to work out, but
there's a molly
couple of
on
weapons
Fear.
to be saved.
Yeah, 2 AKs picked up. That's actually an amazing eco for 3D Max. That's better than you would ever thought possible. And this is where I kind of alluded to earlier, right, in the pregame. You and I both know this. Eschila and Zero Fix, they have been on and off, consistently on and off, effectively, for Passion UA. Never truly there, but always kind of present still in some manner. And whilst Eschila is having a great start to the map, Zero Fix, not as much. And not to take it away from them. They still won the round. Absolutely great stuff. They'll still have to show up. We cannot expect them to be quiet throughout the entirety of the series. In any case, starting off in middle, Lucky on Yambo, as it is going to kick off the entry here for 3D Max. Round 5 is being played, and mid control has been taken. The French are currently holding the line.
Yeah, great start so far for Passion UA, but this time it's Jambo getting shot down. And it's nice to see as well for 3D Max, a bit of a change to it immediately. The pace given by Passion UA in mid, there is going to be a change to it. Willing and fighting back for it. Good spray. As SGL suddenly down to 41 and not even seeing his attacker. Making things a little bit awkward for Passion UA overall here for the moment. Didn't get mid control, they'll have to try to scrap to get it back. And for some awkward rotation spot potentially for 3D Max, but they're still sticking to this 3 stack on B.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I like that they're determined to stay here. Maka, the ever happy IGL, love to see it. 30 seconds to go, Passion UA. They've decided this is it. They're going to stick it to the B site and hope for the best. Oh, I love a Lucky's timing here. While he's going to miss the players in Speedway, everything else just works perfectly. Fear finds Maka short, but the round is done. As Chilla is caught by Lucky, he catches Fear as well. And there we have it. 3D Max, round 1 is theirs. Well, not round 1, I guess. The first one for them.
Yeah, and right, keep in mind, 3D Max, as a team, they do have a fair bit of experience now as well, with their EPL run being as good as it was. There's plenty they can get from that. It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of keep that up throughout time now, I guess, is the way to say. This was a very good showing for them. Before that, they were still in that same spot of, okay, they're a good team, but we don't know what they're fully capable of. That's kind of where they were at. Now they're kind of trying to prove themselves over a longer period of time. And I want to see them do that as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just a stepping stone if they were to beat Passion UA here, but...
I mean, if you look at their results for the qualifier of EPL, they certainly did a banger job, right? We can't take anything away from there. Beating Aurora, beating 9 Pandas, Spa Division, Saw, Sinners. Though the argument could be made, Sinners currently in the worst state. Sinners really not looking good at this time. Saw has been having a few ups and downs, though again, you know, we just saw them perform at Blast being eliminated. And then 9 Pandas, who have been on and off as well, really dependent on Seized, who's now no longer in the roster as well. So it's you know, even with the wins they've been able to get, I still feel like there's something missing on 3D Max. Perhaps it's the firepower part, perhaps it's something else. But Jocko, well, talking about firepower, my man pulls out a hat trick beautifully, and oh my Maka the lineup here, the cross, well, just the damage. Oh, walking through the smoke. Kiss in the smoke.
Oh. Not checking it. That's going to cause issues for S-Chilla when that smoke fades.
Yep. S-Chilla is as good as gone.
Actually, Maka didn't make noise, but there goes S-Chilla. Now it's the cave play they got to be careful of. They're cleared long, they cleared around. Only one place he can be. And Fear needs to find his shots, but there's nothing he can do to stop the defuse from coming through. Last 3D max off the heroics from Joko are going to be able to pick up the round.
Man, Joko, the fact that he finds 3 in the round itself is fantastic. Passion UA, I feel like they, this is something that's been pretty consistent with them at times, where they would go in one by one, where they would find themselves being a little bit too eager to take the fight alone. And not that it was the case here, but it's something that 3D Max and players like Joko, players like Exercise, Lucky and Maka will be abusing at every single opportunity, because they know they can. And obviously having all the experience of the Tier 1 scene for so long as they did, Passion UA is fighting against a strong roster here. But again, we see B Speedway control and not a lot of presence from 3D Max. We do have, I believe that is Gravity in towards Cave, in towards Leopard.
That's the flashbang to Gravity alone. He's playing the off angles though, and he's going to have individual duels headed his way. Picking off Jambo first. Up comes S-Chilla. That's a great clear for him. On the Steve side, they're still in 44 now. We get it. They've started off these rounds pretty similar in most cases. If the A play they have made once was a curveball, beyond that, it's been B. It's been a couple of rounds they've decided to try and play mid as well. But certainly something 3D Max might catch on to. All great timing as well on the utility. Molotov goes to default. They can try to stop that bomb plant completely at that point. And I feel like this should be locked in at number 3 here.
It is gonna
yeah,
be.
that's confirmed as well. The bomb has been dropped. It's Gasmo in a smoke.
Oh,
tagged up, that. But Joko actually didn't hear it.
Yeah, apparently sound cues weren't taken. Gasmo. Brother. This is a tough one. He does survive, but again, unfortunately for Passion UA, it's going to have to be a half-buy at best. A few mini Kevlars, a few pistols, and just kind of get on with it. And I did say that I see Passion UA winning here, although it's going to be either a steamroll one or the other way, right? Kind of in that direction. You and I both, I think, can agree on that, Passion UA, in their best of days, or at least on a great day for them, they are a nigh unstoppable force, and they can absolutely punch up above their weight line. But it seems like here early on, after the pretty damn good start, 3D Max have found the combination that works and have been successfully shutting down any sort of an attempt towards B, towards Speedway, towards middle, and their combinations. It's not like it's treating just one player. Everybody is performing. Everybody's giving, everybody's giving their performance on review effectively, and everybody's getting stellar reviews. Nobody's slacking behind. Nobody's like losing those early duels, and for the most part, Passion is always playing with a man or two down. As we have a technical pause, of course, Exercise having some issues, apparently having to restart. Oh, timed out, excuse me. Timed out of the game. Funny enough, it's what happened to me the last few Premier games I played. I was like client disconnected, something like that. It just kind of crashed. The game just closes on itself. So... And then it happened like at least 5 times in the game to different players as well. So Valve is Valve has cooked the servers. Maybe, I don't know, if they spilled some water on them or something. And the game is not as stable as they thought it would be.
Yeah, the game is not ready. Is the
the premise? Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to agree. I think the game should have been in testing for like a good year before it was released. So that's what they did, but they still released it. It was in testing. No. It was in testing since May or March. I'm not sure. And then it released in September.
And forced it down our throats, completely destroy and go. It's been in testing ever since.
The thing is, I really thought that they would keep CS2 on a test branch. Like, you can play it. Yeah, everybody's getting those invites to the test period. I was... early on when it was just us two, I kind of, tested it, gave it a try. It was kind of good, but obviously it wasn't ready. And I think they should have just kept it there for another year, because the fact that we switched mid-season, right after EPL, what was it, 18, 19? I'm trying to recall. Was it EPL 17? But in any case, it is not ready. It's still to this day, the fact that there are crashes on majors, on professional tournaments, is just unacceptable. In any case, great start on mid again. Gravity this time takes charge from Shelf. Jocko, hello, double for the man. Gravity comes out swinging from Cave, finds Fear as well, and it leaves Jacasmo alone. Ooh, this is a tough job.
One of the big guns on this team, besides Jambo as well.
Yeah.
Now we'll need to see him show a little bit of that skill, but it is going to be exercise instead to wish him a little bit ill instead. So 3D Max, they've very quickly balanced out the game. It was a 4-0 start for Passion UA, very quickly tying things up 4-4. But I do want to say as well for Passion UA, this is a very good start for a matter we didn't really expect that much out of it, I guess, in the pre-game would have mentioned his name. But S-Chilla, he's currently going 9-7. Definitely has been an instrumental part in a couple of these rounds. A massive 3k in one of the earlier rounds toward the B side. And beyond that, right, he's finding stable kills, keeping himself going. Trying to be one of these sort of rays of light in the dark for his team, potentially.
And we don't usually see him in this role, which is a surprising factor.
Yeah, usually a bit more quiet. So nice to see. A welcome surprise for sure. But now let's see what the pistols do still have to say. For Jambo, he's gone for the full Glock just so he can have 3k in the bank. Means AWP comes out next round. All the util and everything he needs.
To be fair, we've seen a lot of T-side teams decide not to play the AWP. Now, I think for Jambo,
I think it would be a good decision here. You can get quickly locked in with the utility that 3D Max is usually throwing, but if Passion UA have a good plan, they can take mid control, they can kind of split for it a little bit, see if they can take a little bit of charge in their own hands. But it's about to be 5-4. Passion UA, as we said, after a glorious start, this is a pretty steep downfall. 5 in a row, effectively, I believe. Wait, I'll double check, but it is 5, is it not? Or am I just tripping here? Yeah, it is 5. Yeah. It is 5. Passion got 4 of the first few. 4 on the first few, and now 3D Max brings it back for 5. There is the op, okay. And this is where we know Jambo to perform best, when he has that op out. Mid control gonna be contested, love to see it. Pop flashes are running out. Lucky and Maka, a little bit too eager to take a fight. Gravity finds S-Chilla. Oh, the combination though, Gravity! Oh, that's massive.
Pinching at the right exact time toward mid. 3D Max, they're powering up into this game now. Lost the first few, but ever since, they have started to show us a couple different approaches. The varied playbook they have on Ancient so far seems to be pretty damn decent. Well, Jambo, he's going to be ready for this. The Shadow gets spotted as well. Gravity, it does betray him. As back to even numbers for the moment, and out toward the B side. This is the play they're going to be making. Trying to make their way out toward the side. Smoke deployed towards CT as well, but Lucky still found himself what a need to blow up the smoke. And we'll delay this for a couple more seconds. Another smoke deployed as well, so that's going to give the CT side a chance to get up close. Play in those smokes and maybe even find themselves in a position to take down the bomb planted here on the side. There's going to be Fear getting out of this one quickly, and Gigasmo tagged up in the smoke. Apparently Lucky finds a jumping shot on him. Well, probably a little bit of panic during the gunfight, but it doesn't matter with the round itself.
Mouse wheel jumped.
Yeah, still secured. All good. 6-4 for 3D Max.
Yeah, I mean, the experience is showing. The cool minds are showing in a way. You know, keeping themselves collected. This mid presence could have gone horribly worse for 3D Max, and it is. It is unfortunately a bit of a scroll wheel jump there. But as I was saying, 3D Max, they lose the first player in middle, but then Gravity comes in, the timing is right, Lucky goes out swinging hard, and they find two kills for free. And again, on Speedway, it's going to be Gravity challenging. No support from Ramp. That's surprising usually to have another player there. Maka gets caught as well. We're seeing a bit of a switch in direction. Passion UA being stopped by no one this time. As Lucky, just as I say it, finds two. It's still going to be B-side wide open. Not sure what Jocko was thinking, why he finds himself going aggro after he loses two teammates already. But it feels like he's pressured into this position, has no exercise. Well, he's gotta take this one for the team. 1v3. Can he do it? Do you believe he can do it, actually?
He's the sort of guy who could pull something like this off. I've seen Exercise do some crazy stuff. The problem right now is the positioning, and it's also got to be Fear the problem. But hey, number one, that gets dealt with. Few more to go. He's still shouldering from long. Gigasmo is buying time for the rotation from Jambo as well. So unless Exercise now starts to read into this, a little bit of 4D chess should be done, but a little bit of noise being made here. But a shot's missed, and that is going to be signaling the end of the round as well. Kills can still go his way, but Jambo shuts him down anyways. But you're seeing that. Exercise is going to be ready to pop off whenever he's given a chance.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And imagine if 3D Max don't lose Jocko needlessly on B. If he doesn't put himself out there in cave like that. With Lucky getting two, you know, it's all of a sudden a 3 versus 3. Then Jambo is forced to not go as aggressive towards a donut. Maybe the rest of the players are funneled towards a different position. Yeah, these rounds could have gone wholly different, but Lucky full Passion UA, that's not the case. Still, it's going to be another mid-control play. We got two players out of Passion looking to take charge. It says Chilla going out wide. Up against Lucky and Maka, and Lucky again blinded. Maka holds the line, the M4A4 in his hands as Gravity comes out swinging, and he does not turn around for Speedway. I don't get this. I really don't. 2 times in a row, same principle, same position. The C4 is lost on mid, which is horrible for Passion UA, absolutely. It is looking like it's going to go 7-5 if we continue like that. Oh, that nade is really good. Albeit, they expect Maka to be close. Do they check him? Oh, the molly. Oh, Maka.
Burn to a crisp and spotted his Joker as well. The HP, though, is a problem here. Not only that, but the bomb needs to be recovered. The Molotov and a smoke. All of this is
what is
things
happening?
Interesting, because he can't try to edge the smoke. Only should have committed to the molly or the smoke. They decided to throw both. Makes it real bad for Gigasmo to try to win this one. The timing is barely there to escape. But even so, Joko threads the needle to find it. 1v2 clutch to pick it up. It's got to be a 7-5 half. As 3D Max, it was a slow start, but a goddamn good comeback into this.
It really was. It really was. It took them a little while, as you said, but hey, if you've got all, all 5 kind of performing, giving their best, even Maka as the IGL, who usually, give a little bit of leeway when it comes to the individual stats, they're all positive currently. Look at that. 117, 220, 143, 133, 10 KD stats on 3D Max. On the other side, there's only one player that's positive, and that's it. So there's definitely a lot to answer to. There's definitely a lot to kind of work out, the kinks in the plan. As Passion UA move on to the CT side. Arguably, their worst side, is it? I have to double check, but I really like what I'm seeing from 3D Max. That would be a little bit
crazy, but no, the CT side is just about the same. They don't really seem to have a specialty on this map. It is very 50-50 when it comes to the win race for Passion UA.
Fair enough, fair enough. For a second, I don't know why I distinctly remember them being a little bit weaker on CT. Maybe it's Anubis more than anything. But Pistol starts off again pretty aggressively here. Fear finds Exercise. Nobody checks Chilla as Fear finds Maka.
Staying alive. Him and Jambo holding back Joko as well. Drop the bomb with C4 at their feet, and Lucky into 1v4 now. There's a chance to get some things done here, but it's down to the timing more than anything. Jambo spotted, 10 HP to his name. Knows he can't really be the one to face forward at first, but he still does try to take the fight. But simply put, with the smoke down here, the matter should be locked in. Lucky as well knows he's got to explore other options while that smoke is up. Can't let him surprise him. But there's no surprise in this one. It's a very simple one. It's 3 players stacked in 1. An amalgamation of the CTs there. A mutated creature awaited him. As 6 picked up for Passion UA. So far, so good when it comes to the pistols. 2 out of 2 won. And on the CT side as well, of course, this is the more favored side overall on Ancient. Mainly because that T side's going to be a little bit tougher, but still.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously depends on teams, because sometimes it's playstyles just don't clash always, so you do get to see these sort of blowouts every now and then, or it's just that one individual's missing or something is not right. One little detail can change everything to make it a lot better or a lot worse every now and then. So the numbers and stats aren't always the end-all of anything, or, well, nearly ever. Let's see how this one now does go. For the C side, they've gone for a couple of pistols. And that's about it.
Yeah, they've got that Deagle and Jocko. I guess they're counting on potential entries. Maybe if they get lucky, finding a kill, getting his rifle or weapon, and then working from there forward. Passion UA.
We still are yet to see Jambo in his best form, in his final form.
Zero Fix is having a bit of a tough time as well. But rounds are there, so they can't say they've been wholly lost. I love the name of this M4. Hot Rod, I think, is the name of the actual skin, but Eternal Doom is what Fear names it. Love it. Jambo, excuse me. A little bit unfortunate, loses the MP9, Exercise going to be caught. Here we go. B-push, hoping to get a second. They will. That's not bad. Yeah.
Passion UA, good to see them getting up there as well. Alright, we're talking about Jambo Masterclass. He's currently performing at a very small venue though. 8 kills only. Not really giving us much of a show just yet. Kind of same with Jacasmo. Estrella really has been the one that surprised this map so far. But it's still kind of early as well. I'm not expecting still things to very quickly flip on its head. But there's a chance it could start right now. 3D Max look for the 8th. That they are going to try something out of mid here. Enter the smoke, or edge the smoke. There's Lucky walking out. Immediately being disposed of as well.
Had more utility to make sure the gravity is not going to be able to trade effectively.
Flashbangs for the swing. Jambo continues his rough performance so far with a headshot delivered his way. However, for the rest of his team, this is apparently no problem at all. Shutting down mid, completely leaving Joko alone. Bomb can be picked up, that's no problem, and headed toward the A side. It's racing to see who gets there first. Although you could say Joko, bit of a head start, was cheating anyways in that one. But bomb planted, can be put down. The problem here is for Joko, doesn't have a lot of information. And, well, the problem for the CT side is they can't give him that information, so Chikasmo has to be shifting through main the entire time.
No smoke, no molly, no defuse. Those are the three main factors that Passion is currently kind of lacking. And Jock on the other side, lucky, full Passion, doesn't have a molly of his own. But this is going to be all eyes on the individual, and Fear immediately delivers as Jocko peaks on the first attempt. That's where, that's where you kind of catch yourself off a little bit, Jocko. Should have been a bit more prudent in checking that first corner. And Passion UA take the lead after the start of the first half, where it went 4-0. They finally get back on track at 8-7. 3D Max on the other side, with the bomb plant secured, looking like they'll buy again. Not that I'm a massive fan, but if they can make it work, then great. They will be lacking a bit of util, and Maka will be playing with the Tech 9. This time at least, not a massive mid presence.
See how this one does continue for 3D Max. This again could be important to try to shift the dynamic of this game, because they have gone for this buy with everything they have, essentially. Either gives Passion UA a big advantage, or puts 3D Max right on the map. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one does play out, because it is being currently a bit of a slow ball. Everyone respecting each other, and this is a trap as well for Passion UA. Not often you do see these 3-man A stacks in this way. They don't have a lot of information for what the B side anyways, or either way, I guess you could say. But this is great. Zero fix. Ways to get involved in the fight. A couple of kills found in mid suddenly. Put 3D Max down to 2 or 3. And with 35 seconds left, they'll have to consider what they even want to do here. Because Gravity, he's the man with the bomb now, and 30 seconds left, has to make a run somewhere.
Passion UA, man, stepping up. Big time. That says chill up. Controls mid, mid-red. Oh, Chikasmo, good reaction. Able to immediately refrag means Gravity's forced into this uncomfortable position. Going fast and wide. And this is going to be pretty much Maka in a 1v4 where he's unable to get more than, well, the AK to pick up and then immediately die after. Passion UA, 9-7, as unfortunately for 3D Max, it's going to have to be another half buy here. Mini Kevlars, maybe a few Tech 9s, maybe a Mech 10. Hell, even a Hito AK, I wouldn't be too opposed to it. And yeah, Maka's got the same idea. But you know it's a good day for Passion when Eschilla is absolutely loving it and enjoying it. Same for Chikasmo. Both are currently stepping up big time. And that is massive. As we've been saying all this time, usually it's not the duo that we expect. Usually it's, excuse me, not Eschilla and Chikasmo. It's rather Fear and Yambo that are doing the hard work.
So Jasper, nonetheless, one of the players on this team you need to look out for. He's the second highest rated player.
I mean, yes, there's no doubt about it, but, you know, haven't seen previous games. You and I both know he's had a few off-season, or off-kilter games, sort of to say. More than a few, comparatively to Jambo and Fear, is what I mean. Though absolutely still a great player, obviously. Deadly in his own right.
Here's Zerafix. He does get taken down, and there's Chilla back at the site again, surviving. 15 kills to his name for now. The last two on this 3D Max side. Great flashback, but the ammunition's running out of that Chilla. But he's done enough. He bought time, and Jakasma rotates in. He's going to collect himself a second. And so Passion UA, they're not going to let much happen in the second half when it comes to 3D Max and getting rounds on the board, apparently. There's not even the bomb, but that's going to...
Yeah.
Not going to affect things too much. With only a half fight, they're still fine.
You know, Passion's doing good when they leave 3D Max on 7, right? That's the whole point. Like, that they're just kind of keeping them in check after 7-5 on the halftime. It's as good as it gets here. When it comes down to it, Passion UA is strolling through this second one on CT, 5 in a row so far. There's the op on Jambo as well. Now things get very interesting, as Jambo probably posted on B, I would say. Last time I remember on Ancient, he was posted B, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But again, a little bit of meta control coming through. Zerafix forced back. There were a couple of Molotovs thrown by the T side already. Plenty of that utility does get used out of them. They do get the control they wanted. Off to Casmo. Fueling up against the mat and jumping up, and does get dinged in the process. Hoping no nays hit him. Nothing they can do about it, although lucky. One found for him. Able to escape or not, it's going to be Casmo taken down next. Big relief found for the T side of 3D Max as they've cleared the entirety of B and the rotation. Bomb planted, and suddenly it's 3D Max shooting themselves up to 8, apparently. Just as we're talking about leaving them on only 7, they decide it's time to wake up here. Get something going. And about damn time. The T side of Ancient's not that easy anyway, so starting off slow like this could have been a bit of a dangerous position to be in, but they started the first half down, 0-4 anyway, still managed to get 7-5 on the board. Who's to say this is done already? No one is the answer to that question, by the way, but
they at least clean up the team, you know, not allow any survivors, not allow any saves. Not that it's going to change up the round itself here, it's Passion still buying. But as you said, they come at the right time. They show up at the most important of times, in fact, because otherwise we possibly could have been looking at a 11-7 result, potentially even 12-7, before 3D Max have another proper buy. But here we go. It is round 19. It is the round that's going to decide the fate of 3D Max. If they can keep this up, it's going to be a closer match than expected. Zero fix. Quick entry on middle, but immediately Jocko ready for the refrag. As Chilla, though, arrives in right at the nick of time as he gets himself a free one. Gravity replies on Fear. It's a little bit unfortunate. The IGL's having a tough time getting that control of Cave. But the damage is severe. 4 HP on Exercise, 43 on Gravity, and Maka on the op. Oh, Jumbo. This is a good corner. Oh, he's going wide, but he still hits it! Oh, oh, sick. And that's the Jumbo we know.
He's cooking up something. And with that as well, he's put an end to 3D Max's plans. The last two stuck in mid for the moment. They are going to make their way to a free A side at least. Smoking CT. Now toward the site they go. That's going to give the information away to Jambo, who does have a little bit of util as well. He can try to fight with if he wants to. Either slow them down or just get straight up into the duel. Up to him, but a good Molotov. Exercise gets the bomb down. Nothing they can do to stop it. In for the retake. The CT side already move in. Oh, Jambo. Seeing him. move out a little bit. Here's a flashbang. Exercise should be pretty much caught here. Not much you can do with the second man. It's Maka on the off, needed to nail the first shot, and the second one, but a quick miss is all it takes as this one comes to 11-8.
An abrupt halt of that success story for the side of 3D Max, unfortunately. And the unfortunate part is they've got this one buy left. Fail, and most likely we see the end of the map. So let's see. Maka, first time that he had the op-out, was it? I actually don't remember him don't remember 3D Max having an op-out and much of the time. My bad, words are hard. On the CT side or on the T side here.
Either way, let's get back to it then. Mid control being taken by 3D Max. Passion UA is not giving us much of a fight here.
I mean, they got leopard control. Yeah. Slow and steady.
Yeah, this is the way they have been playing B so far. Oh, slow. Fear. Just tossing utility in toward this part of the map.
He's gonna spray again. He's gonna repeat the same as before, yeah. Luckily this time gravity is not as wide, but the pool to middle is true as exercise. Quick shots. And now the question, does Eschilla hold the line? Does he find a kill or two? He gets only the one. Maybe it's not enough yet. On A side, it's going to be Jacasmo in Temple. Smoke into CT. It's going to be Jacasmo trying his very best to find the kill here on Xbox. Oh, the timing just doesn't... Yeah, the timing is not there. And I think it's a save. It's got to be a save, especially with the op of Yambo.
Yeah, this one's got to be done and won it. 3D Max, all they needed to do was find a couple of entries toward the B side, or A side, excuse me, in this case. But the first shot is what really makes it even happen, because at that point when they find the kill on this, Jacasmo in red, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he goes down immediately. Oh no, Zero Fix.
Zero Fix, yeah, one or the other.
Yeah,
regardless.
Jacasmo came out of Temple, but yeah, Zero Fix getting completely domed by Exercise was fantastic. And 3D Max were allowed the space they wanted, not having to worry about the rotation in Temple or mid immediately, so looking pretty damn good. And into round of 21, and now it's a 2-round game here for the win or for the tie. We'll find out which one it's gonna be, but I'm looking at Passion UA here. Their economy's gonna be in a lot of trouble now.
A little bit iffy, yeah. I'm wondering if Jambo didn't buy any utility, right? So he doesn't have for the M4. He's missing $50, which is a bit of a shame. Could have dropped the rifle to Zero Fix. Instead, probably going to be dropping either a FAMAS or an MP9. Zero Fix can also sell that helmet that he's got on him. And there's the MP9. But yeah, 3D Max looking to tie it together. Make it work here. As we've got still a little bit of a lack of economy on their side, but they've got more than enough currently, at least. But here we go. Once again, it's going to be mid-presence. And a contested for it. Zero Fix, very aggressive, close range, sees the flash. Another flash into the smoke. And he is now fully blinded. Gravity goes out swinging in towards Cave, though. Fear taken out again. And this has been a recurring story. Jambo re-peaks after finding the refrag. A little bit of a mistake, but it's down to Jacasmo as he drops the player on ramp. Is he...
Well, he should be aware that Cave has already been lost. Exercise will find Jacasmo at the end. Mark on Eschilla. And it seems like Passion UA is a little bit lost on the round itself. They kind of forget about the fact that Cave has been lost and that they've lost sight as well.
Yeah, they got more worried about mid, not having that information there.
Yeah. And that is going to be 10-11. Closer than I thought. And in a way, Faraz was right. This is a closer match than I believed it to be possible. I really was leaning in the way of, you know, being more one-sided. But hell, Ashen is putting up a good fight, as well as 3D Max.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is still a Passion where Jambo hasn't fully activated, nor has Chikasmo.
Yeah, or Fear, for that matter.
Yeah, putting up this good of a fight. Oh, well, we say this good of a fight in the way we would say as if they were losing, but no, currently still winning 11-10.
Still winning, yeah, still winning. It's
although I'm pretty sure it's going to be a tied tied game after this next round.
It should be. There is no money in the bank for the CTs. They got to go for an eco.
Yeah. The Hero AK certainly could do something, but not expecting too much out of it anyways. Either way, round of 22, the chance to tie things up here, all for Passion UA to rob a round right from 3D Max's hands. But again, it's kind of the same as the first half. It's a great first couple of rounds out of Passion UA. Back at a 4-0 start here. They started with a 5-round streak as well. Now they're slowing down a little bit. 3D Max is catching up, showing they have that experience. They have their individuals ready, willing to fight. And currently delivering in mid. 4 players immediately gone. AK gets nothing. The big man on S-Chilla, USP, and, well, nothing he can do. Actually, Zeus. USP.
I really dislike the Zeus. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's just... It's not neither broken nor OP, neither is it bad, but it's just such a wonky weapon. Because how many times did we see the Zeus do 99 or, you know, being in range?
Happen again. No, that does not happen anymore.
Oh, they completely fixed that. Okay.
Yeah, it's 100 or nothing.
I love that by Choco, by the way.
Just turns around like, oh no.
Yes, Choco, the showmanship, love it, absolutely.
Yeah, Zeus is now just the range was nerfed a little bit after the initial.
I know
release.
they fixed the cone in which you hit the player, right? They've increased the cone, of the range cone, right? So even if you're not fully accurate on the player, you're still kind of hitting it.
No clue about that. I just know the range went from, I think, 190 to 120 units. So they did make it a little bit worse. Because, you know, you did see the first couple of months, I guess, people were buying Zeuses, you know, tier 1 teams in the in any tournament they were playing in. Eco round, let's buy a Zeus or two. Because it was just a pretty damn overpowered weapon, just for a little bit.
I mean, insta-kill for $100, who wouldn't?
200, yeah.
200 now, yeah.
AK shot found at the B side this time, by the way. It was left completely unguarded. Nothing there for Passion UA at all, and they're going to be forfeiting that point as well, the 3D Max from this one. Definitely some issues here, you can tell, for Passion UA now as they've let this one go. A 4 plays to save is definitely got to be an important task for them to do.
Love the fact that Jocko's hunting them, and he will find Chikasmo. That's a pretty big pickup. If he can find Yamboy as well, that's the M4, but no. Not going to be the case. Fear takes on exercise, but there's Chilla
At the end, oh, just as the round ends, he falls. And, well, Passion UA, now they are in trouble, and I'm not particularly sure as to why they left B completely open at all. They had not really anybody besides one player there, and not really sure what kind of a plan they had, but here we go. Round 24 of regulation. As 3D Max is looking to close it with success. And first contact in towards Cave with a pop flash. Gonna be a really good one, Maka and Gravity.
Oh no.
Rope,
it's completely fallen.
Yeah, Passion have completely lost the plot here.
Crumbled Gravity, almost humbled as well, but the smoke deployed, and Zero Fix needs to go searching for the next one instead. They've dealt a lot of damage on the 3 players, but they've not gotten a single one out of the round just yet on the Passion side. As utility starts to get deployed a little bit more as well.
Smoke towards CT does at least force a move out of the CTs themselves. But Lucky watching this, Joko with him, and he's not alone either. It's got to be 3-man spray down, or it's got to be nothing versus Chilla. Map 1 does get lost after Passion UA kickstart both halves with a great lead. But they do crumble the experience on 3D Max a little bit more, putting us into this match.
We can't forget the fact that Passion started off the half 5-7, and they were able to find 5 in a row, get it 10-7, then lose 1, then pick it up again at 11-8, and everything just kind of fell apart. I'm a little bit shell-shocked that that's actually the case, as I expected perhaps a bit of a better ending, especially. Yeah, I mean, Faraz was right. 1-0 for him here. He was saying it's going to be a closer match, and yeah, kudos to the man. I hope he's going to give us a great breakdown of the series or the map itself, as there were definitely a few moments where Passion kind of had it in the bag, but just dropped it all.
Thank you, boys. I think that this game had quite a few intricacies, and what we generally expect from the young roster that is Passion actually did end up happening. The fact that they start off incredibly strong when they have to rely on their mechanics, when they just have to rely on holding down the basic game plan that they showed up to the server with, that was actually working quite well. You saw that they started off quite well. They had that 4-1 lead to begin with, but then 3D Max did something that only comes with experience, and that is that they made adjustments. You could see that they slowed down their pace a little bit more. They got more informational on that first half towards the CT side. You could see that when receding into bomb sites wasn't working, they started to go for more informational, more mid-aggressive plays, and that was actually working out quite well against the side of Passion UA. And unfortunately for Passion, they also I'm not sure if it was a poor read or what it was, but they also stylistically changed their plan a bit more, and when they themselves slow down, it actually worked to the advantages of the style that 3D Max was playing. They were constantly rotating their game book. You could see that they were willing to slow it down when they could feel that Passion were going to throw down a fast rush or something of that sort. They would also be very happy to find exploration with 2 or 3 players when they would find some silence on the server, just to try and find where that eventual Passion hit is going to be. And the 3D Max recovery on the CT side was really good. And again, we see the same trend coming out on that second half. I think initially we saw that the mid presence from Passion UA was really good. It allowed them to put 3D Max in a position where they barely had an economy. We saw them come down to just the Tech 9s. And overall, Passion UA, they made a really solid argument for themselves when it came to that CT half. But when it all fell apart was when 3D Max quickly realized that Passion UA are going for a much weaker site approach, where they're more heavily putting their eggs in the basket of exploration, and they're going for these mid-presence plays where they're relying on the round basically hinging on someone like Chilla being able to pop off on middle. Now, when you've got a game plan like that, you actually need the other team to be a bit slower as well. You need to have conditioned the enemy team to be slower, but that wasn't the case. 3D Max quickly turned it up to 11. We saw them start hitting those bomb sites with a much faster approach, and when that happened, it didn't feel like Passion immediately had any response to it. And the few times where Passion actually tried to respond to it by going for much faster informational plays, 3D Max got the right timings. They just held it down, and I think part of that is also luck, just being able to find those reads on the right rounds. But a lot of it just does come down to experience. They're catching Passion time after time, just 1 foot ahead every single time, and that is what I think just allowed that experience to eventually persevere. if we sort of put a microscope on those final few rounds, you could see that 3D Max never really slowed down their pace too much. We were seeing these very polarized site hits. We saw them rush down B, we saw them rush down A, and when Passion is specifically going for the style of play that isn't prioritizing bomb sites, they're in a little bit of trouble. Those post-plant positions, once 3D Max actually got into them, that was pretty fantastic. They got pretty much everything done. We saw absolutely no cracks in their defenses. And frankly, I would have really liked to see a little bit more from the Passion defense when because it felt like they were simply allowing 3D Max to get a bit too much space when they did eventually get into the bomb sites. That being said, of course, Passion, they had a pretty solid showing, and I can't wait to see what map number 2 is going to show us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom, instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
Welcome back, everyone. That was a pretty contentious affair, and it could have actually been a one-sided victory for Passion UA. But 3D Max, their experience pulled through. I think, although you guys were expecting something a little bit more one-sided, you guys did mention that experience on 3D Max is just going to be something to look out for. And I just love to hear your preliminary thoughts before we head into that second map. Nexus, let's start with you.
I feel like that was Passion UA not fully ready. I think I mentioned it a couple of times, but that was still them without the full activations of what we usually expect. The Jambo Masterclass wasn't there. Jacasmo wasn't as good as he could be. Eschilla was making up for a lot of that. Yes, Antidote Fear wasn't popping off as well when we know he can. It felt like a... It felt like a B- sort of game for Passion, I think. If you were to put it on like a scale somewhere.
Over, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I gotta say, the biggest disappointment for me was the fact that Jambo never really showed up with the op. We saw maybe once or twice where he really kind of had a few great seconds of performance, but beyond that, it was just nothing. And not to mention, there were quite a few, I would say, tactical errors. We discussed this in the break just briefly, but, you know, the way they played that mid-control, the way they re-engaged corners where after they get a free kill and then they start to search for another, or, you know, they would bring it back to a 4v4 and then they would counter or they would re-aggress and lose that player in the re-aggression. Like, I feel like these mistakes are indicative of perhaps a bit of the nerves working their way and just kind of putting them down a bit.
Yeah, I truthfully think that Passion UA should have won that game when some of, I wouldn't say their weakest pieces, but the pieces that generally don't perform with firepower are kicking off, right? If you've got Eschilla activated, if you've got Jacasmo activated out of his mind, like these two players, they're generally not the ones that are popping off, right? So I really expected something a little bit better, especially when Fear Jambo, they're getting the support that they, I wouldn't say that they don't get the support. Like these players are all very good, don't get me wrong. But it did kind of feel like the star players left something to be desired, and maybe if all the cylinders were activated, we would have seen a completely different outcome. That being said, though, next map, that is the 3D Max specialty. I think the only map that they would probably prefer playing over that could maybe be Nuke, but even then, I'm not 100% certain. Anubis is a 3D Max sort of comfort pick, and it's also something that Passion UA are quite comfortable with. So as far as the veto is concerned, right, we are looking at pretty comfortable maps all across the board, and that's part of the reason why I said that we were probably going to see a close game. We're never really seeing either team being cornered. They're comfortable with playing each other's map pools. They're just sort of testing each other at wherever they are best. Now, Anubis, do you guys still think that Passion UA, they can take it over?
You want to start, Nexus?
Sure. I feel like there's always that option, but it does come down to them actually popping off and having that sort of game. So, I do want to believe in them. I want to say yes, but it's like Will Daly said, it's a comfort pick for 3D Max, pretty much. So, if they are gonna get it, it's gotta go through the
Yeah,
the
well,
hard way.
we've just got the call. Turns out the game is live, so we don't need to speculate anymore. Also, you boys on the other side, take it away.
He says the other side, but what is the other side?
Well, I hope it's not the afterlife, because I'm not ready to go
Never mind. It
there
could be this. It's
yet.
tech pause or tech pause.
It could be the tech pause, or it could be the fact that we are going to be in the temple of Ra, and we are on Anubis, named after the god of death, of the underworld, excuse me, of the Egyptian mythology, as he was the one leading the soul. No, actually, wait, yeah, Anubis was leading the souls into the underworld. In any case, well, he was also. Wait, I need to brush up on my Egyptian mythology. Damn, I kind of caught myself right now. Yeah, damn it. But, you know, funny how on Anubis we don't have a temple of Anubis, but we have, in fact, a...
the entire place is his temple.
Entire
this is where
place,
people get led to death.
That is true. That is true. And he is the god of the death, the ruler of the underworld, and the god of you know, when they put people in sarcophagus, what they do to the people is called I can't remember what's the name in English, but we'll get to it. Doesn't matter. We're kind of yapping away. We get to the pistol. We are kicking it off. As my PC just turned off. No, it didn't. Just went black. Okay, never mind. My screen went black. All is well. All is good. Jocko finds Jacasmo. Zero fix. Meanwhile, trying his best. Gets only 2. We're left in a 3v3 retake.
Quick on the rotations. The CT side more than ready for this, and so is Maka. Him and Lucky now both guard at the same entrance, but it's suddenly just Maka left to guard at this. Joko a bit far back to help, at least when it comes to the immediate duels, but Maka doesn't need help. Man who takes action, and a man who kicks ass. Nice, neat little triple for him in the pistol round. Then Solo denies the retake. Nice to see. And the 3D Max, that's a pretty damn good start as well for them. If you want to start on Anubis, the T side definitely pistol would be nice. Because that's going to put even more pressure on that CT side to get things going. To get things started any way they can.
Yeah, and as we were previously talking about this, right? 3D Max, I mean, they started off 0-4 on the Ancient. They had a bit of a tough time getting rounds on the board. They then kind of started to bring it back a little bit. But point in hand is winning the pistol, having the T side of Anubis start off like this, and Passion UA actually letting 3D Max start T side does give me a few off-key vibes for Passion, honestly, because 99% of the times teams will choose to start T side on Anubis, but Passion did not, and that is something that is definitely a question mark in my mind. But in any case, it's an eco, so with the Mach 10 on Gravity, with the rifles on the rest, 3D Max should be clearing this one out relatively easy.
Did you guys see Gravity on the top? I don't think so. Although, Mach 10, and damage gets done, spraying through the smoke, and, well, through the smoke they walk in. Nice little Mach 10 3k, even picking up the AK from Marcus' corpse. Gravity farms a bunch of money for this round. I didn't even realize he actually didn't even plant the bomb. I thought it was already down, but no. We're waiting for something else. Zerfix, he's going to be gone in just less than half a second. Yeah, he's moving on to the next round. As a clean-ish 2-0, start now all 3D Max. The guns are coming out, and for Passion UA, like I said, they're going to need those individuals to show up in the way they didn't on that first map. We're going to need to see Jambo, we're going to need to see Jacasmo and the Fear, everyone popping off. Would be nice to see Eschila continue that form as well from map 1, but we'll see how that does go.
Yeah, it would be a nice little change for a difference. Zero Fix also had a pretty good showing. But let's see where we are leading with round number 3. 3D Max currently set to take Canal's control. Bit of an aggressive B take. Love the idea. Zero fix. There's the entry. Believe Gravity also spotted. As the stage is set to go for an A execution. Did they see the player? They did see the player, but the reaction just wasn't there. And there's Chilla. The frag for the name. As a nade hits. But he's going to be burning behind that default. Where's the support? Casmo very late to react. He goes out swinging wide. He misses the first few, but he does get on exercise. Gravity, though. Hello. Back to 1v2. Zero fix is gonna have to salvage this, and he definitely can. Maka, though, look at where he's in. That corner, deadly corner. The M4 can quickly be spotted. And it will be Maka ready, crouching and prepared.
Round is done. Damn, cuts it close. Down to the last, but at the end, it is going to be 3D Max 3-0.
Now letting Passion get on the board just yet, and that's Gravity and Maka pulling it out of the hat at the end. Important finds. And with this, Passion UA, well, they're going down to pistols yet again to try to get something to cook in here. And when we had our game yesterday on Anubis, I, for whatever reason, forget the actual teams. It was, Aurora, Youngblood, and, who else?
Youngbloods and Bleed.
Yeah, Bleed, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one. What we wanted to see there out of Bleed a little bit was that B aggression, was going canals, aggressive in the canals.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that for Passion UA as well. It's the sort of play that really shows you're more comfortable on this map. Takes away a lot of options, put pressure on your opponents. So I'd like to see that, but keep an eye on it. This round obviously not going to be one of those rounds where we would see that.
I mean,
instead of the Frenchmen, they're grouping up, they're going to collect the bomb, throw an AK out of the map as well, make sure no one can collect that with Joko gone.
You're
45 seconds, Passion UA to make a rotation somewhere now.
As I was saying, you are not wrong, right? We want to see that control of middle. We want to see.
Oh my god!
I don't even know how to wrap my head around this. That is just insane. It's a full eco, by the way, and Jacasmo just picked up a hat trick. It's going to be down to Maka and Exercise. They are making it to a site, so the afterplant will be set. But there are 2 rifles now that can be picked up. The third has been thrown away, obviously, and we can see Fear is looking for it. Nonetheless, Passion UA, if they win this round, that is massive. As Maka needs a better position. Here we go. It begins. First contact.
Ooh. Exercise does well to keep them at bay for the moment. Oh, CT side, they need to get rid of him, and the player on side. The nade's a little bit iffy, but this is going to be even more so. Maka, twisting and turning on side, doesn't know which way to look. As this round is going to be picked up by the side of Passion. It's thanks to Chikasmo, the 3k on the Deagle. And then the man advantage, all they had to work with to straight each other out, and it's all good. Passion. A round we didn't expect. And sure as hell, 3 max weren't expecting for them to win either. So,
I kind of speechless.
A lot of pressure already now being put on the Frenchman from that round alone, because you can see the economy that it is affected by a fair bit here.
Comes crashing down a bit, yeah.
Yeah, Galil's max 10, another Galil. Okay, I was thinking surely not a pistol, but yeah.
That would have been a bit awkward if it was just a Glock, but Passion, the fact that they win a full eco, it's kind of insane because 3D Max knew exactly what they're up against and they still decided to go in 1 by 1. And this is one of the telltale signs that, you know, teams can get overconfident when they win a map, when they're feeling really good about themselves, and they just start making these basic mistakes. But this time, through Con, first entry into Dark, there's the nade. Fear's going to be holding the line. He's still at 0 frags. Molly is going into deep. Oh, that incendiary is well timed. There's Chilla. Not to mention the spray as well. The jail clear by Jacasmo, and it's going to be a jailbait kill as it's going to be Maka in a 1v3. No chance, and that is all there is to it. I am not sold on the way they approach this B-take. After the molly hits and you lose the first player, you should just stop right there. Like, they threw another smoke on the molly to push forward, which makes their life 10 times harder. I really don't understand why you have to push into it. You have a man advantage. You lose the first player, fine, it's 4v4. Reset the round, reset the scenario. Why do you have to waste away the round? But 3D Max, the decision was made and the round is lost, as Passion is about to pick up the tie.
Into the side, Fear's AK, little loose, only good for one for now. But he's coming around, collecting a couple. Actually, making a quad. Nice status padding, and we're starting to see him shape it up as well here. In Gasmo, everyone's woken up. Jambo, the only one who hasn't gotten killed so far. Plenty of time to get things going. This is a nice way to get things going. It's now tied on the score line. The CT side again. They're going to be going up against a slightly weaker buy. Some utility is missing. I got a little unlucky, but that's fine. Just one is okay. Someone needs to make the sacrifice to afford that utility, and this time it is him. Now entering round number 7 as well here. I'm just looking at Passion UA are going to try to do anything funny toward a cave, any aggressive place canals. None of that is currently happening. They had a mid or double setup in mid. They're calling off for the moment. More support towards A or B, thinking about it. Making rotations in plays. Minute left on the clock. Map control to be taken by 3D Max.
It's gonna be another B play here. They're pretty much committed to it.
Yeah, Passion is playing the B side very much as a retake as well. They're trying to find one or two players that potentially give themselves up as they're committing toward that site. And all they need to do is drop a nade. The CT side don't have one, so it makes things real awkward for this retake overall. Fear has a Molotov being lined up, that's good though.
He's gonna be very late on it though.
And Chalet waiting for it still. Molotov does go. Burning lucky, but bomb does get planted. CT is now 1 and 2. Quick to get things going on the retake immediately. The utility is good to force these duels out. Now getting ready for a couple of fights. Exercise doubling up, but there's Maka for the third. They should have had an idea. Fear was close, and he's still putting up numbers.
Oh, S-Chilla.
Second for him, but making a third with S-Chilla to join. Leaves 3D Max in the dirt.
They really do, don't they? As it works wonders here for the side of Passion UA. That Molly forced Lucky out of position after he plants. He goes wide, gets caught by Fear. And starting off in that final push by S-Chilla through Con. The fact that he wins the duel then leaves Exercise in an impossible scenario, as it is going to be 3D Max losing another one. 4 in a row, and a bit of a reverse scenario from the first map. As Passion UA started with 4 rounds, then lost 7 effectively in a row. Actually, it was 6 in a row, then lost, well, got 1, it was 5-6, and then 7-5. Yeah, that's how it was. But 3D Max, they've got Tech 9s, they're looking for the A site. They've got 2 players holding, S-Chilla and Jacasmo. And they'll be holding the line. That's it. 3 kills for S-Chilla, whoever goes through the smoke. This is a pretty straightforward defense, and whilst this map might be a great map for 3D Max, it can be said the same for Passion UA. They've been playing it quite a lot as well. The statistics might not be the greatest on it, but they have been damn decent.
Now, plenty of maps played on this, so Passion, they're gonna have a couple of tricks up their sleeves. Nice little 2K for the round on Jambo. Definitely an instrumental part that we need to see. I'm not gonna stop saying it until we actually see Jambo fully activated. Knowing how good he can be, and as to what was delivered as well, the difference is quite staggering. But, nonetheless, moving on to round 9. Guns coming back out, that's the story for this round itself. 3D Max, we'll see what they manage to cook up here. So far, they've been pretty damn slow when it comes to anything. Letting Passion away. Make a couple of rotations, waste some utility. So I want to see if there's a change of pace to this T side and now.
Well, 3D Max, slow it down, realize that perhaps speed is not the answer, but Jambo might be. They catch him for free, that's the op lost. Mid control now is being contested. Love the idea that they keep pouncing on the opportunities they get. 3D Max, smoking off Temple. Looking like they want to go into that A site, and it will be 2 defenders. There's Chilla alongside Jacasmo. They've set up the defense perfectly. Jacasmo will find one. There's Chilla being caught, but Jacasmo spotted. Exercise just as he goes into the smoke to try and hide for a second. Immediately seen. And it leaves Fear and Zero Fix. 2 versus 3. The retake is on. Maka on the op. Something we hadn't seen him on Ancient a lot on. But Fear will find Gravity. 2 versus 2.
Trying to hunt down Zero Fix here. Oh. He's staying alive. Still cooking. Now it's on to Maka to isolate the duels to find the timings.
Misses the
shot. The missed shot won't do him any good.
That's round.
And the Molotov as well. Utility is good. Bomb's not planted for him. He's been locked out of the round and Passion. It's shaping up to be a good first half for them now.
It really is, man.
6-3 start on the CC side. Definitely welcome for them.
Look at the money, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, I noticed Jambo had like 9k at the end of, or start of last round.
Yeah. They are definitely looking really good, to say the least. But it's going to be round 10. 3D Max need to start picking up the pace. This is T-sided after all. The map is, of course. And with what we're seeing, they're just absolutely getting, well, played with. First contact on middle. It's going to be mid. Oh,
oh, uh-oh.
What?
No one ready for this play, apparently.
Nope.
Oh, Jericho. Wild spray into the doors, and the CT side, they're making adjustments to match up to this position as well for the T side. It's a bloodbath in mid. Maka finds himself a wild Jacasmo. As for Fear, he's moving into position, and now again with Zero Fix as his helper here leaves him just in the 1v2 to cook up Master Clutch. Smoky Scooter allows both of them to move out if they want to. So Zero Fix moving in to the smoke, and he's going to have to check his corners, but I don't think he's ready for this one. He's lucky he just heard in time. He's the one who was made sure to watch this. 6-4, 3D Max, they do fight back here. Willing to make this one yet another close map.
An extremely important round for 3D Max as well. As, yeah, not only make it a close first half and a close map, but rather 6 rounds T-side. That's considered a big W for the CTs. And Passion UA, you and I both know how good they can be on Anubis, how good they are on Anubis. And on the T-side, Jambo, you know, usually giving us a damn show in itself. But 3D Max, still 2 more rounds to go before we can say it's going to be tied. Before long, Passion can steal this at 8-4 as We have Eschilla taking up the op, being tagged with a nade. And 3D Max, not sure what exactly the plan seems to be. Oh, exercise. Don't tell me you re-engage here. Oh, okay, he goes back. Okay, that is very lucky for exercise. A step further and he probably gets taken out.
Oh, flashbang. Now the greatest for the CTs. It's only Eschilla and Jakasma, both low on HP. Now making a play toward the B side. Molotov timing is great as that's gonna slow them down and allow for this rotation to happen. It's a race against time. And we'll see if Passion UA are gonna be there to beat this timing. First one being found in the meantime is Eschilla toward the A. He's the one who went for the aggressive play to push. And also with his demise means the Thieves side they have time to go back toward the A side now.
Yeah.
Couple more seconds he would have waited. They could have instead funneled them in toward that 4-man stack, but instead this is looking like a 6-5.
The executive decision has been made by Passion. They'll save. Although I'm not sure why exactly. They've still got money to buy the next. Though perhaps not as convincing. That is true. And they don't have as much as one would think after seeing the stacks of cash they had previously.
But yeah, it's going to be 5-6. It's going to be closing the knot, and we're going to be approaching that 6-6 scoreline. Potentially 3D Max really tying it together here. As we start off Anubis as a bit of a ancient in reverse. $7-5 still a possibility as well, we can't forget. Which would be massively... a massive W, rather, for Passion UA.
It really would be advantageous for them. And right, we already mentioned it, but 5 or 6 on the T side is... It's not, you know, too impressive, but it's alright. It's, you know, fine. For the CTs, 6-7, pretty damn good. Something not all too often expected, but yeah, it is what it is. For the second map so far, we are seeing things go a little bit back and forth. A couple of closer rounds, especially those mid ones. All the rounds that were in mid, so we'll see how it continues. Now T side. Finally seem like they want to make some sort of plays, I was gonna say. The CTs are ready for these. Smoke Smolly's down toward A main. They're gonna try to slow them down, or if not, then at least trap them in there.
Well,
now with a minute left on the clock. Yeah, this is 3D Max played a very similar game they did on Ancient, where they are waiting out the clock here. Seeing what Passion have before they make a commitment. Maka needs to be ready for this angle. Eyes on him. Is there going to be a flashbang? No, there's not.
Usually what we expect, but dry peeking could work. As it's going to be Eschilla trying to hold the line, supported by Jakasma, and he will find the entry. That's a good start. A second as well. Eschilla slowly falling back. Giving an inch, but retreating into safety. He burns at the end, but a hat trick is achieved. The Jumbo comes across on Jocko, and that is going to be down to a one-man Lucky, as he cannot close it out. And it is 7-5. Passion UA dominantly show up on Anubis CT side. And that is absolutely fantastic. That is best possible case scenario you could hope for if you are Passion right now. Because you've just been handed the keys to the city, effectively.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just about making sure that they don't let this lead go to waste, because that's what we had on Anubis or Ancient as well.
That's the scary part now, right? That's
11
to
5. 11-7.
11-7, 11-8, something like that. Yeah, 11-7. Yeah, I think 11-8. One or the other, but yeah.
11-7.
11-7. 7-11. In any case, Maka. Oh, never mind. It's Jar. What? Huh? B side.
Already out toward the B site. Quickly finding their way towards it. Now for the CT side, they gotta try to find a couple of stragglers, and there goes Jambo now. Again, he's still not having the greatest of days today. But for the retake, it comes 1-2 for the CT side, and looking for the next Munjagasmo. Just crouching away from Exercise Dual Berettas. And he's going to make sure his head is turned on a swivel. 1, 2, and 3 overall for the round. It's Passion UA.
Slam dunk.
Yeah.
This is a winning combination right here, as they are not stopping from their success of the first half. I mean, why would they? 3D Max literally give them a free B site. Yeah, they'll take that any time of the week. I'm not sure what 3D Max's idea here was, how they intended to hold, but clearly there wasn't much of an idea behind it at all. As we've got MP9s now, a forced buy. Passion realized, you know what? We better start doing something, or this is gonna be map 2 done and dusted. As we get ready to jump into this challenge, Passion UA. Mac 10s and 2 AKs. Pretty decent buy overall.
Jambo's getting a lot of information toward the A site. With his teammates now as well, they cleared the entirety of it. Main included. They'll be fine to win this round. As for 3D Max, it's gonna very quickly become a round they're just gonna save.
I mean, they don't have a choice. They got to, right? With bomb planted on A, not really a lot they can play with. Oh, lucky catches as Chilla. Now, I'm not saying, oh, Exercise finds Jambo. Don't tell me this is how you throw away a round, Passion. This is certainly not the way. As Jocko finds Fear, it's a 4v2 retake of a site. It all comes down to a select few seconds and a select few moments. It'll fix. Hello.
I am surprised they try this as much as they do, but hey, it's also not a terrible round if they do bring it just down to 2. Needs to be a reinvestment from Passion UA to fight back in this one again, or
to do really anything, but for the CTs, this next round isn't going to give them anything, really.
Yeah.
Should be just an eco, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols, that's about it. And yeah, that is about it. Utility included. I'm just interested in Maka actually buying up here. As much as he does. 1,400 left in the bank for him.
I'm not sure what the plan is, and this is something we'd seen on Ancient as well, right?
Yeah. I didn't think too much about it then, but now seeing it again?
Yeah. Not a fan. I'm not a big fan. He's going to be a little bit stranded economy-wise, and I hope, I hope they know what they're doing with that. I really do. Smoke into mid. And an A take. Passion UA losing no time in approaching the site.
Yeah, utility got to be put down. It's ATs though moving through that utility and lining up a nade. Gonna be lucky to try to get some chip damage. And Gravity, he's the one who opens things up here.
That's a good start.
Util goes out. And the CTs, they might as well make this one as expensive again. Maybe even take it away. Fear and Jambo. Latter of which barely in the game finds his name 15 to Fear, looking for 16, looking to get 17 as well. As now to the last one, it's not going to be lucky to win this one, but again, it's close. And it's by no means smooth sailing for Passion UA. Their economy has been kept low until this very first gone around.
Bit of a tough one, I'll admit. That was definitely closer than it should have been. Passion UA kind of playing with fire, even getting burned in the process, but seemingly not deviating from the original plan. Nonetheless, it is going to be 10-5, and this is where things get dire. 3D Max, they either bring it back in full swing, or we might as well just say map 3 Inferno is about to happen, as we kick off with an entry already. Maka is dead. There is no two ways about it, unfortunately. Jambo on middle.
3D Max, though, they're still very much in the game, especially if they were to win this round.
If they win this
Not
round...
4v5, though.
Absolutely.
Not all that... Yeah. 4v5, they're very focused on mid. They want a little bit of information. Molotov toward the B side gives them an idea of what might be happening. Smokes to join as well. Good Molotov, but a Zero Fix does beat the timing, but he can't beat Joko. It's got to be Fear to do so instead. That's towards the canals. Exercise has managed to drop down, and even if Eschilla did check it, he wasn't ready, didn't see him, the smoke was down. He needs to clear his close corner. That's with a CT strike. Gravity only good for one, and they know where he's at now. With the bomb put down, it is going to be Passion UA to get 11.
And, well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think right now 3D Max have realized that they are, or have already, pretty much ran out of options. Money is an issue, rounds are an issue, and everything just seems to be crashing right in front of our eyes. As going into the 17th, they've got 3.5k average across the board.
And round 17 starts up here, CTs. Reaching the end of the rope on Anubis, it seems. This was not what was prophesied.
Very unexpected, and a little bit concerning.
Supposed to be the comfort pick, the best or second best map in their pool. This and Nuke.
It ain't what we came out to see, but at the end of the day, Passion UA performing exactly like on Anubis, right? They have the advantage, they have the rounds again. The lead this time not being wasted away, at least not by the looks of it. As, well, it seems like it's going to be another B take here. I'm not particularly sold on the way 3D Max approach this map in general. Like, their T side definitely not proactive enough. We saw that plenty of times, and how many times they've lost the entry and then kind of just tried to force their way into positions they had no advantage on. And there goes the double entries again. The MP9's unfortunately not making any sort of a impact.
Yeah, round number 17's in the bag here already. 3D Max, 7 in a row needed on the CT side. I'm not going to be looking at them to actually win this one anymore.
Yeah.
It's disappointing when it comes to this Anubis.
It kind of is, isn't it?
I would have been alright if if we were to see this out of Ancients for Passion, but here is one hell of a surprise. But it's a damn good one, because now we're starting to see more of the Passion that we expected. Casmo, Eschilla, Zerofix, and Fear, mainly Fear currently, doing a lot of heavy lifting for the side of Passion. The individuals that we know, with simple enough calling, effective as it is, that's what Passion is. They're simple, they're effective, and they're about to win their opponent's map pick to force it over towards that Inferno as well.
Yeah, they are. There's very little chance that right now we see 3D Max bring this home. It's one too many rounds in a row that they need to pick up. To be exact, 7, in fact, to go into overtime. And as far as I can tell, there just ain't much that's going on in the camp of 3D Max that gives me the impression that they can do it, actually. And I'm not saying they can't get a few more rounds, but getting 7 in a row, just not really. As Inferno is going to be most likely on the board and soon enough here. Starting off with quite an opening here, this best of 3. Quite a series that we're going to be watching. Or that we are watching, in fact, to be exact.
Looking to give us a show now over 3 maps. Unexpected a little bit by both of us, by Wildady as well a little bit maybe, but nonetheless, round of 18 could be the final one over this entire map, but we'll see how it goes. So we're starting off in Passion UA. They're playing this as default for 3D Max. It's them who are going to try to change things up a little bit. Aggression comes out of them. Looking to find both as Fear and Gas, but they clear B main. As Maka, he wants to try to make up for this, but it is a lot he needs. And not a lot of options to do so. No one is giving him a duel here. And 13, looming around the corner for Passion UA.
The HP advantage, the current setup, it looks like everything is showing that Passion will steal away this final round of Anubis, leaving 3D Max on a measly 5 rounds. I would like to just point this out to the viewers that might not have noticed, but 5 rounds is what 3D Max got on their T side of Anubis, and 5 rounds is where they are on their CT side at the end of the map. And that is just not good enough, unfortunately. And to be fair, I perhaps thought that this is what we're going to see on that first map.
Hold on, this is rough here still.
It is.
Estilla can't get the first one, and Molotov down. This round's done. It's not going to end at just 6. There's no time to get the bomb down.
Jacasmo's going heaven with the C4? Okay.
There was no time. They heard Maka, they wanted to find him.
He could have jumped onto site.
Unable to.
Okay, I guess in a way this doesn't work out exactly as planned, which gives the 6th one to 3D Max, as much as I was blazing over Passion there. Which is great and all, obviously. But, by the looks of it, not done just yet. 6 to go. And as I said, I don't believe in 7 in a row. I really don't. But maybe a few more can be taken. Maka on 16 kills, by the way. He's really putting as much effort as he can muster to try and keep his team alive.
Now for this one, it's going to be Passion again. They've got those weapons out, they'll be fine. But economy is running a little bit low here, so there's a chance that we might see a couple more rounds out of 3D Max. But the way they're going to be going about this is, as you would about any comeback, 1 round at a time. And you see where it takes you. But even so, the CT side so far hasn't given them a whole lot. So that's the problem. You could even make the argument the T side wasn't what they really wanted to see on it either. Play they're thinking about making here potentially a B split. But they pulled back from it. Ready for A instead. And very good timing on that smoke as well. I'm still looking at the bomb as well. It's going to be on Fierce back. Whether now they're going toward A or B. Now I think the choice has been made for them. With a little bit of aggression toward the canals, they have to go toward the A side instead. They get past 1 man on A. He's going to be lucky to defend for the moment. He's going to have help in the form of exercise. And what can the two do to put up some numbers? 1 gun already. In the flank, Maka's gone as well. Missed his chance, and everyone's gone.
Yeah.
Passion UA brute force their way toward A, and they are not going to suffer at all because of it.
They quickly
Joko left in a near impossible situation. A kitten has been picked up in a 1v3. That's the drop on 1, but Jambo and taken down behind Spotted. Gotta try to give this one a standstill. But it is Passion UA to pick this one up. A surprise on Anubis, as they're the ones escorting 3D Max to the gates instead, and we're going to be going toward Inferno. We're going to bring this one down
in a blazing glory onto that third map.
Man, I really thought that after Ancient that Passion would be in dire straits, really in trouble, but it seems like everything kind of turns back in favor for Passion themselves, in fact, as they close it out with even a better score than on Ancient, give us a better performance than on Ancient, and really shook up 3D Max. I mean, hell, 5 rounds T-side, Anubis. I don't remember the last time I saw a T-side being that weak on a map like Anubis. So there's definitely a lot to take in there, and I'm sure that Wild Deity will be able to bring us through all the details.
Man, not only is this an abysmal showing from what you would have expected from 3D Max, this is also what a perfect game, an almost perfect game could look like from Passion UA, because we had every single player being activated on the server, with the exception of Jambo, who, was the big missing piece once again. And it's a little worrying to see Jambo not really be performing as well as you'd expect him to, but at the same time, when everybody is picking up the slack in the fashion that they are, I'm not all that worried for them. Incredible showing on Anubis, and what really surprises me is that we end up seeing a completely different version of 3D Max. If you look over at Ancient, which was actually the pick of Passion, their CT side, or their strat book in general, was just so incredibly well fleshed out. They were constantly going for these different little timings, they were going for different read plays, and even Anubis started off quite well for 3D Max, but that's pretty much where it all ended. Passion UA, once they get that initial 5-round streak, it starts to look a lot better for them, and they just ended up overpowering. In the rifling department, every single duel was being won. 3D Max, they constantly looked like they were out of position. And the 3D Max that was exploring Ancient, going for these plays, switching up their pace, going for information, we ended up not seeing any of it. And to be honest, the margins were already so dry by the time we got to that CT side. You lose the first couple of rounds, you lose the first few rounds. You don't really have a whole lot of time to experiment. And then beyond that tactical timeout they took there at the end from 3D Max, we actually did see some of it being brought back. They started to go for informational plays, they started to explore some areas of the map, but it was simply too late. Passion, they were looking hot, they were winning the duels, and when that starts to happen, you're already looking down the barrel of 10, 11 rounds for Passion. There was simply not enough of a carpet to walk on for 3D Max, and I'm a little bit disappointed because I did think that the experience from them would allow them to make a recovery just like they did on Ancient, but it's apparent that that wasn't the case. We saw none of what 3D Max were proving that they were previously good at, and that's also part of why we see that the highlights are pretty much all Passion UA. We see no real approaches coming out from 3D Max. We had a couple of site defenses that did end up working out just on an individual level, but from a team level, it simply wasn't looking all that great. And it took the tactical timeout for 3D Max to finally bring out some of their game plan, but by the time they do, Passion, they're already hot on the driver's seat. Even that last round, when 3D Max are in the right positions, they've made the right calls. Unfortunately, although Maka can delay it for just a little while, it is simply not enough. That being said, though, I'm very happy to see that Passion, they've not been discouraged, and they might actually be kicking themselves a little bit, because they could have potentially closed it out in 2 maps, but they simply weren't able to. That being said, though, we do have another map coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that, as we will be back after a short break.
Tired of boring case openings? Do you always get only cheap skins? The Hellcase website has tons of options to upgrade your inventory. It's up to you to participate in giveaways, events, or compete with other players in opening cases. Hellcase, your world of expensive skins.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
Welcome back, everyone. That was a pretty underwhelming showing from, Oversard. You were an ominous orb there for a moment, but it's okay. I mean, that's how I view you anyway. All wise and ominous. I mean, you'll get it with age. I mean, you're already kind of getting on, but still, I mean, just give it a few more years. Anyway, third map underway, and I'm honestly a little disappointed from 3D Max. I expected more. Their playbook on their preference didn't look all that good, and I kind of feel like they didn't really even get to use their playbook very much. Over, do you agree? Hot, cold? How are we feeling?
Yeah, now, I feel like when it comes to Inferno, it's going to be a little bit harder to actually say on who's going to take this, right? The numbers alone would back up maybe 3D Max a little bit more, but I'm just wondering about, or thinking about the games that Zero Dance or Passion recently have had. You know, rolls against Rare Adam, a 13-1, and will that's the same team you said that they kind of smashed, no? So what happened there? You know, a bit of a miss maybe, but they've had a couple of games on it recently, very up and down overall, that I don't know how I feel about it. But then again, when you look at the veto, they kind of had to let this one go through, because they had to ban Nuke first, and the second round they couldn't let Dust 2 go through, so it's kind of a awkward middle ground for them here in this decider. Yeah, I think heading into this game, we kind of expected the middle ground, but I didn't realize this was how we were going to be seeing it, right? Over, you know, you talked about how it could have potentially been one-sided for both maps for Passion because of just how hot they've been looking, and that could have actually been the case. I mean, I'll give that to you. That first map, if they had put the lid on it, we'd be looking at an hour-long break before we headed into the next series because of how uncompetitive they made it look up until the point where 3D Max started to make a comeback happen. Now, they're not able to get it done on the second one, but a third one, that is still looking very good. Now, I think this could go either way. I really don't have incredibly high expectations from 3D Max because both of these maps looked a little bit botched.
Let's go. Next is we're watching Inferno again. Yesterday we had quite the showing from Bleed and AYB, aka Aurora Youngbloods, and at the end of the day, Aurora Youngbloods, of course,
Yep, see how it was muted on VMix the entire time. Wonderful.
Good catch, good catch. Thank you for that one. Sometimes it happens to the best. As Faraz glazed me.
You.
You bastard. As Faraz was glazing me to be getting wiser with age, it seems like I'm getting slower as well.
Senile.
Senile, yeah.
Age is catching up, man.
Oh, man, don't do me dirty like that. If it were in the Middle Ages, I'd be long dead by now. In any case, Maka, well, he's making sure a few of the players of Passion UA aren't going to be participating in this pistol anymore. But Chakasmo, quick reply. Gravity holding the line. Still going to be that gravitational pull that gives them potentially the win. 3D Max now relying on Maka to hold it for the ace site. Although, they stop it. Okay, I expected maybe a bit more. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the fact that they stop in their push as they get that kill on long. A bit unfortunate.
What the side though? Maka the only one on site who had to be taken care of. It was now the Fear and S-Chilla to try to clutch this one up with the 2v2, but they're the ones who have the site under control. Lucky and Joko, they'll have to be a little bit careful, not sure what sort of crossfires, what sort of positions these last two have taken. Comes down to wanting to see how this retake does play out. Flashman goes in for the first kill as Chilla quickly trades it out, and the dualies, a dangerous weapon. You're lucky for some reason, still thinking there's one more alive as well. It was taken down, and there goes S-Chilla. With the defuse is there, it's gonna be 3D back to take this pistol. And yeah, that's the second CT round they've gotten in the past, well, 10 or so rounds.
It was a tough one, and
it was a bit of a rough time there toward the end of Anubis.
Quite unfortunate, really, for 3D Max, and I guess that's where my original kind of point was intended to go. The way I had potentially foreseen Passion go 2-0 and a quick one at that, because obviously Ancient could have turned out to go to Passion as Faraz said it. And then we would have had that hour's break. But in any case, Passion UA, forced by, Galils are out, Mac 10 as well, and a few pistols. With the bomb down, they become a bit of a dangerous entity, though Banana Control contested and actually held by 3D Max here. The French not giving up any space, any room to Passion. The Maginot line will hold for now. As the counter, well, actually another smoke, excuse me, is being thrown. Additional 17 seconds before things get a little bit heated. Jocko alone on B. Not a big fan of this, since he does not have a secondary or a third smoke ready. And if Passion decide to push into him, he's going to really have to put his foot down and hold the line best he can.
Oh, that becomes smooth as Lucky's come back to be.
Yeah, now with Lucky rotating it helps, but Lucky is on 12, right? So that's one bullet from any of the weapons that Passion have, and he's dead. So Jocko's going to have to do the majority of the footwork. But his wide angle is not giving me a lot of confidence, if I'm completely honest with you.
Max don't care about your feelings, and this time Joko doesn't care about him either. He does take the duel, but as Lucky, as mentioned, low, still puts up a duel.
I love his decision to go wide, low HP. He decides, you know what, if I wait, I die. If I don't, maybe I get one. He gets two. That's extra on top of what he'd already expected to be able to. As it's going to be exercise that brings it to a 2v2, but unfortunate that then he gets caught by the last two players of Passion, as Maka has to run the hell away, keeping that M4 alive, and the round goes to Passion UA. The force buy succeeds, and it does come down in a way down to Jocko, right? He was the rifler that we counted on getting a multi-frag. Even a single kill there would have been possibly enough to put this round just enough in favor on the side of Passion. Excuse me, 3D Max. An unfortunate development here. Definitely not what I expected. as this will leave a little bit of a, well, bit of a bad aftertaste for 3D Max. And you know, I gotta be brutal here. Jocko's swing through the smoke, I majorly dislike that. If it was lucky with the MP9, I'd say okay, you know, you try it, maybe you get one, sure. But with the M4, surely you just wait for your teammates to try and retake the site at that point, or you take that swing once Lucky has the engagement going, right? Because the distraction is on, the attention is divided by Passion, you have ample opportunity in that moment, but not before. In any case, full force buy pistols with the one rifle and an MP9. Very good.
Now out toward the side as well. There's only one to defend. There's not much that can be done by gravity. There's a Seagull Cantonel single shot as the site gets taken over. We start the in-game timer for saving. Lovely little feature of this of maps like Inferno and Dust 2, of course. That should be in the game, because yeah, this is just a waiting game. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of action. We're not seeing Passion gonna hunt him down either, so 2-1 secured for this T side, and I do like the fact that we're getting this much action already at the start of Inferno, where it is back and forth now like this. I was just wondering if Fear actually DC'd or something. It was not moving at all, but no, he's fine. He's just guiding his teammates, but everything is A-okay. Passion UA. 3D Max, not so much.
Bit of a tough one. 3D Max forced onto an eco here. They do keep that MP9. I think that should be their focus right here. Getting lucky to pick up a few kills, make sure they can get the op out for Maka. It's a factor that we hadn't seen a lot in the previous maps. Something I mentioned as well, Maka not having the opportunity to actually op as much as perhaps he would have liked. And that also being, at the end of the day, a bit of a difference maker. But with round 4 around the block, the MP9 now, let's see what magic it can make. Good nades, actually. Decent damage. Both Jacasmo and Fear heavily injured. So that helps the side of 3D Max quite a little bit. Exercise still has that Zeus, hoping to get lucky himself. As Passion is smart about this. They're not going to be running into this blindly. A good plan is what they need, and that's what they will get.
Yeah, the pistol on the CT side, though, I'm expecting at least a couple of kills out of him. A 4-man stack toward the banana side is definitely got to be a surprise there that they can catch someone off with. Maybe even a couple someones. Who knows? But Molotov to lock them in. There could be another one for the nades to deal with it. It's absolutely wonderful as Jambo. That's a 4K for him. Double from the airstrike, double for the AK. And this setup does not catch up anyone.
At the end of the day, Jambo, man. The man that we've been glazing over, the man that we talked a lot about. How, you know, we haven't really seen him be present in either map 1 or 2, and I'll double check right now, so I'm not just BSing. But on Anubis, he was.
Throughout the series, he has been the lowest rated player.
Exactly. On Anubis, 9 kills. On map 1, 12 kills, and they won Anubis. So, you know, we can't hold it against them. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, Anubis was a Fear masterclass. It said it was 20 and 6, it went plus 14. Yeah,
it really was
100 something ADR, 110 ADR for Jacasmo as well.
Exactly, and again, I am very happy to see Jambo here on the 3rd and final one come online. Kind of, you know, finally get a little bit of that confidence, if you will, back in his hands as we start off round 5 with the buy round. Maka on a FAMAS. So much for that op. Let's see if the French can wield the French gun better than any other. As we start off, again, with a bit of app control. Love the short boost. It's actually 2 players on that rooftop, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Bait and switch. One man with the pistol, or one man going wide. Now with the pistol. That's a rifle they had.
I believe Maka holding... Oh, excuse me, not Maka. Rather, who is it? Jocko. Holding this close corner, trying to just spot with the jump spot. Trying to see what he can get out of this. They do get Jumbo. And they're still holding Banana pretty well. Without utility, but confident enough they can take these fights. As Bastion UA turn their attention to a side. Gravity takes the first. Exercise on the anti-flash, hoping to be lucky. And, well, he doesn't need to be, as Gravity gives it up to him. It's exercise with a triple. They don't expect a secondary player there. They do pre-fire the spot, expecting Gravity to still be there. But the angles just don't work out at the end here for Passion. And that will be the second one for the French. Good stuff. Looking much more convincing all of a sudden.
Yeah, picking up any rounds at the start of this would make it competitive again. More than important, that's what we had on map 1 and map 2, kind of. More to what Anubis, but... yeah, the ending of that wasn't all that convincing for 3 Max. That's a problem. Push towards Banana and Joko! Oh, hello, as he's going through a 1 and 2, lucky with the 3rd, and suddenly this is just kinda crazily gone.
Yeah, things are starting to spin out of control here. Quick rounds and even quicker kills as Passion UA are being shut down on their attempts. As we see 3D Max finally getting the op out for Maka as well. That's the difference maker right there, and let's see if they can actually abuse it enough to get a few free kills out of this one. Starting off with just Eagles in round number 7.
Grabs again, opens up and looking for the next one. Not afraid of a challenge, apparently. Why would he be? Real force of nature, that man.
He knows what he's up against. Gravity continues to push, as well as Jocko, and they just clean up Passion here. Quite a nasty approach, but an effective one at that.
A very effective one. Keeping it clean as well. The CT side and suddenly with 2 rounds back to back, similar to this. Their economy receives a big boost. A very steady injection of cash headed their way, and yeah, that's something the CT side always needs. Is cash. They need that safety net for when things do go wrong. They need to have something else in the bank. And this is a good way to get things going to 2 back-to-back flawless rounds. And with this, Passion UA.
Certainly get it.
How it goes.
Yeah. As we go again with Jacasmo burning down. Passion is just losing players left and right. Another burn victim, Jumbo, doesn't even get a chance to shoot his shot. As all of a sudden, this is becoming scarier by the second. Exercise will find Zero fix. Eschila returns the fire, but unfortunately the favor means nothing here to the man. As Maka shuts it out. Fear 1v4, and well, he is currently feeling it. Heartbeat starting to raise as things are getting out of control. Passion UA, T-side, I mean, still 3 rounds, great and all, but you do expect to be in a bit of a better standing after the way you kick off the map itself. As he finds Gravity, 2 players are low HP. This is not impossible, but it is improbable. Flashes himself out of apps. He's actually going to plant. Fake plant. Draws a potential challenge from Maka.
And so,
unfortunately,
yet another
that is
round
not.
for 3D Max.
Yeah.
Quickly putting them on the board. And without too much trouble, it seems, as well. And this is what we kind of talked about as well. This is a bit of an awkward map overall for Passion UA when it comes to recent results.
Yeah.
For 3D Max, though, it's what they feel, I'd say, okay on. They have the experience, they have the reps on this map. And a couple of wins recently, mainly over Sinners as well, with 13-8, Eyeballers 13-9. You know, and some losses as well, against a couple of bigger teams, you know, back in the previous Pro League season with G2, Astralis, so as well, they managed to beat them. So they have the experience on this map, and plenty of it now, and even against Passion. About a month or 2 months ago, they played each other with a 13-9 win for Passion back then. But a little bit of time has actually passed, so it's most definitely got to be different. Both teams have grown in very different ways. Here, Maka looking for the contact, and there goes Fear. No more.
Let's start off with, of course, first and foremost, a bit of an apps play. There's Chilla, the Tech 9 on him, close range, looking to get lucky. The Molotov will be a dead giveaway to Exercise. Here's the smoke execution. Exercise realizes what's up, realizes what he's up against, needs to hold steady, and we'll see if he can do that. Comes down to the first contact here. It's going to be Maka, Gravity, holding the line. Not a single loss on the friend side. They are keeping this first half in check. Passion UA, 3 rounds to them, and then not a single one afterwards. As the game starts to crumble for the Ukrainian squad. And as you said, they've played in the past. They've already met each other a few times in between. No strangers to each other, but seems like at this point, Passion just not ready to take this on in its full glory.
Yoko pushing down. East side, they have the flashbangs ready, but a little bit too late. They're going to be punished in Fear as well. He goes through while Jagasmo comes for the trades. Guns out blazing. Third man, he's thinking about it as well. Could be one more. There's Maka in the corner. Falling to Jagasmo on the B side. The start atrocious, but the return to form in this round is absolutely a miraculous one. Last two both from Banana. Jagasmo has the open. He might be ready for them as well.
Oh, he is ready for
Swing for the push. That's kill number 4. Molotov dropped down as well. Gravity not going to hide his position. Shot taken. Damage taken as well for Jagasmo. And up close, looking for the ace. He'll get it.
Jagasmo,
Turning the tides. His passion. Heroics needed and Jagasmo delivers.
One hell of a performance, one hell of a show, and finally we see a little bit of lifeline coming out for this first half as well. Passion, after a glorious start, they just take a big fall off a cliff, and it is not yet working out. But perhaps not all is yet lost with how it's kicking off. 6-6 still possible. Money for the CTs not really going to be lacking for the remainder of the half. On the other hand, Passion kinda can't afford to lose here. Banana control gonna be contested, and this time Jocko blinded, but gets Jumbo. Hello. Okay. Okay. I see where this is at. There's Chilla. He's gonna have to be a difference maker. Like, he's gonna have to be the difference maker here. There has to be some sort of a plan in mind as to how to deal with this. As he pulls back, full B take. Once again, we see the same setup as before. Exercise, anti-flash, Gravity. Watching from that rooftop. Execution to B now begins.
Receiving contact, utilities down. And a little bit more to go. The T side about to unfold. Unravel themselves all over the site. Molotovs are great as they do per Joko gone. Maka, he'll at least be able to adjust, and reveals he's also here via that nade. And if not, the AWP will be the code of information, but he's struggling to get anything out of this one on the defense. Beautiful one, and the second with a no scope. He'll deliver, and he's bought the time because the rotations are here.
That was sickeningly good right there. Maka, hello. What a move. As he blasts them to outer space, Passion is forced out of the round without ever being asked any questions about it. Now that is what I call a successful one. God damn it, that was nice. This no-scope was just superb. And double up, by the way, in play. Exercise picks up the secondary. Interesting choices, but he's going to go into apps, possibly looking for a free early kill if he can get one. It all comes down to this. As we kick off round 12 with a bit of damage on Maka. Challenging on Banana. Sees the player at Wood. The info is there. They can molly him out if they have one. Ooh, missed the molly? Did they? Yeah, they did. Ooh. And Maka, because of the molly, thinking perhaps he's in a bit of a, good spot to take the challenge, actually gets caught.
Trying to make up for this as well. Smoke from Lucky. He's going to be going toward Banana. Get a little bit of control over toward it, but I don't think the smoke actually hits. Not the right way, at least. So, some concern, at least, or cause for it, I would imagine. But now out toward the side, it's going to be the two-matter setup here they have to deal with, and that's what. Drop the bomb on toward the top as well. And while Gravity, he's fighting, he's buying time again. So it's now just one man on this T side. It's on Jambo. The Jamboni needs to get up and rolling here. This would have been a way to get things going around to remember, but it's wanted to be forgotten instead. The hands of the CTs, it's got to be in 7 or 8-4 half, excuse me. Out of 3D max. The Frenchmen are looking pretty damn good here on the third.
They are, aren't they? Looking solid. Second half starts off with 8 rounds in the hands of the French, as we say, and they are prepared to take this for themselves. If they win the pistol, if the gun round goes their way, certainly that's what we're going to be viewing. As we start off the pistol with a little bit of util on Gravity, as well as Lucky. On the other side, we got Fear playing with the smoke and flashbang, no defuse kit, and Jacasmo being bought the dualies, excuse me, as Ash and U8, 3 players on B. The line is going to be held, but for how long and how well, those are the questions that keep us awake at night.
Slow approach. Fear holds the smoke. Head turned toward the left to make it harder to be actually headshot out of it. Not going to be deploying the smoke immediately, but he should be. Is already out toward the side. Jacasmo gets contact, and now that smoke has spread around and separated the T side a little bit. And Fear good for 2 before his demise, but the entirety of the site has fallen in the meantime. Leaving it on to a retake. There's plenty of time for both players and Maka and Gravity to get into positions as well. As for the CT retake, comes from the same angle. Both players walking through Banana. Maka up, P250. This is what he had on Anubis for 3k. This time, not more than 1. Tap to bomb once, try to bait out as the last man of Gravity. Back on new box. They're thinking about it as an option, a possibility, and he gets 1 and takes 2. Plays it to perfection.
That was sublime. That was just enjoyable as AF to watch. I just can't believe that actually happens. One hell of a move, one hell of a play, and it's a winning maneuver. That's all it is. Well played by Gravity. Best case scenario you could hope for if you're in that kind of position, and at the end of the day, it comes at the right time as well. When needed most, as right now we've got 3D Max on 9-4, and if they can close the gun round, or this force buy out, it's 11-4 before Passion have an actual full buy. Fear, the MP9 tries through the smoke, it tries, but unfortunately Fear comes up empty. Jocko continues the success as they can just keep on running towards the B site. Free of charge, sort of to speak. And an unfortunate development at the end of the day, as Passion UA's force buy ends up being a failure, and it will cost them very dearly. And I am not a fan of the force buy in this scenario. You lose the pistol. I know you're relying upon utility. Absolutely, I get it, but I feel like there's no reason to force up. Because you need those rifles, you need to rely on those rifles. Those are your saving graces in a way. That's what's gonna keep you alive at the end. Yeah. Let's chill and jump.
For exits now as well. Passion UA, they realized.
Yeah.
This one is around. They absolutely are not gonna take anymore. And yeah, the force buy here, very questionable. Guns definitely were needed, but they wanted to try to go for it all here. Now, instead, it's going to be a thorny path ahead of them.
Yeah, it's not great. It really is
even
not.
Even CT, making sure they're not walking into this stack of the remaining two. 3D Max, the strong continuation as well for the second half of the Frenchman's side. Really not giving a Passion UA a lot of chance here for Inferno.
Breaking them apart.
That was going to be the best chance they were going to get if they went for the force buy.
Pretty much, yeah. That was the round, right? That was the round that they needed to pick up.
Now, more likely than anything, they'll be giving away 11 unless we see some heroics. Because we kind of did it on Anubis. Way back when there was a Jacasmo 3K with the Desert Eagle that did lead to winning the winning an eco round, essentially. So it wouldn't be completely out of the blue to see something like that again. Always a chance, an opportunity. Gravity already, one going down.
Doesn't check boiler.
Util is decent, but they know short it's going to be a bit of a rough time if they want to go that way. Good utility and the flames that burn. At the very last second, SGLI gets taken down. Let's burn it down to a crisp instead. Well, Fear, he plays the B site. Smoking hard, jiggling for the information. He'll just toss it down wherever he wants, or whenever he feels like it. And now going toward the B site. Pulls the trigger a little bit too early as Maka. He just walks right on through to clear the site.
That was the opportunity.
Down, and this is a round that Passion UA at least will have to make expensive.
That was it. That was the opportunity for Passion to perhaps prevent 11 for 3D Max. And it just comes crashing down. Jumbo hoping to do some damage, as you said. Maybe get an exit. Maybe get a little bit of HP going. HP, a little bit of weapon steal going on, but no such luck. And well. This just kind of confirms the potential, well, the likely inevitable end result here. We're looking at 3D Max most likely closing out with success. Though let's keep the odds open. There's always a chance things could still go the other way. There's always a chance this could still end up going back into the hands of Passion UA. The comeback. Never out until it's over. Here we go. Down middle. Deep smoke. Love to see it. Something we saw from Bleed yesterday do a very expert playthrough or very expert maneuver. No entries so far, but 3D Max is determined. They're gonna go B, and they will find Fear through the smoke. Jambo comes in. He's a little bit in an awkward spot. He's gonna get one. That's the only thing he gets. That's not enough. That's not nearly enough. Oh boy.
And that's what 3D Max have finally had enough.
Yeah.
Shutting down Passion in this map, it seems. Not giving them a chance, especially not this. The force buy, you can argue if that's their downfall or not, but this round is what it really comes down to. If they wanted to show us, they could still do it. This was it. Exiting CT, they forfeit a round of 12 to 3D Max.
And there's nothing, and absolutely nothing they can do about it, unfortunately. Sad state of affairs.
Worse. Exercise has them both dead at the rights on the escape.
Yeah. He really has them, doesn't he? Oh, man. Well, things have just gotten out of hand completely as 3D Max not only steal the first half at a pretty good 8-4 halftime, they take the pistol, they take the gun round, and they take pretty much every other subsequent round thereafter. This is looking like it's going to end right here, right now. I just don't see a way back in. As much as I love to see 3D Max perform and give us a show, there's just too many unknowns and too much to make up for. As this is round 17. On towards a... Oh, gravity at 10. Exercise finds 0 fix. And it's down to Eschilla and Boiler. He's going to get 2, but that's not good enough. That's not enough. Fear and Jacasmo, 2 versus 3. Late rotation from Jacasmo is all they get.
The brain behind the operation, it is Fear, and now he needs to show us why he's named it. Give that T-side something to be afraid of. But it's not enough, as it's instead Jacasmo. Molotov's out. It does cancel the bomb plant, but it does also confirm the last man's position. Bomb has been planted. And Jacasmo, well, he'll need to show us something to make Steve-O proud here. MP9 jumping through the smoke. Joko is low. If he does find Lucky first, but the timing's not there. As he walks through, Lucky turns. His spidey senses tingling, and 3D Max, they are through to the quarterfinals instead.
Absolute superb performance at the end. 3D Max, whilst we were thinking perhaps Passion is going to be breaking out of their shell after Anubis, you know, giving us a damn good show. It's 3D Max, in fact, that kind of blast away on Inferno and go to the moon, man. The scoreline doesn't lie, neither do the numbers. 13-4 final score of Inferno and 2-1 final score of the best of 3. And 3D Max, they prove to be the more experienced team. They have the, let's say, the energy to keep up the show. And after Ancient, you know, they kind of seemed a little bit weakened on Anubis. But no, seems like everything goes back to the original
they're
plan.
the ones with the experience. And will data before you sell it, make sure you're not muted on Discord.
You were right. You caught me.
We're learning from the mistakes.
The mistakes of Oversard. Let's just blame it on him. But yeah, I'm not sure what to say here, to be honest. Like, coming into sort of like this analytical portion, right? It kind of felt like a replication of what we saw on like map number 2, but the other way around, right? 3D Max, I'm so surprised that they're able to maintain the composure to just bring it all the way back and then flesh out their game plan completely in that last map. I thought that it's a decider. I really thought it could potentially be a game or a map that could even go to overtime when we were at the offset, right? When we were seeing that 3-3 scoreline. But the pace that they were able to experiment with on the CT side, that was devastating. They were pushing Banana. They were all over them. And it kind of felt like they finally found the piece that they were missing in map number 2. They had no conditioning going on when they were in map 2. But on Inferno, once they conditioned Passion into just taking, into sort of refraining from Banana. They had some apartments presence here and there as well. They ended up doing exactly what 3D Max did. They started to turtle up. And beyond that point, we really saw nothing for Passion because they also ran their margins dry. You go into that second half, you've lost a pistol already, your economy's completely dry, you're already looking down the barrel of 11 rounds being picked up by your enemies. It makes sense that they really weren't. Yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I kind of get the idea behind the force buys because they're trying to minimize the margin of error that they have to work with, but it simply doesn't end up working out. For today, 3D Max, their experience definitely did end up poking through. Exercise being the top dog on the server, 46 kills, very, very impressive stuff. Now, of course, we do have another match coming up, though, and we kind of need to cut it a little bit short because I do believe we're right about on schedule, boys, so I think we should be good. We do have more matches coming up. We've got Permita versus Paravision coming up right after this one. Then a little later in the day, we've got both matches, Big versus Space, and then Gaming Gladiators versus Gun 5. I think that next match is going to be really fun. I've really been watching Paravision. The mix of components that they've got right now, they are definitely a very interesting watch, though. With that being said, of course, the stream is going to be back after a little while. Stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use.
So on and
Easily
off, it's hard to ever predict.
Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
I believe you're muted on Remix. I don't know. Well, I hear you normally. Perhaps there's an issue on the production side, but in any case, if you are not being heard by the stream, as Wild Deity here was saying, we've got the second game coming up, Permita, coming up against this Perivision. It's going to be an interesting one, and before we jump into the details of said matchup, quick important note, as you can see, Nexus, of course, here unfortunately won't be joining us for the second series, so me and Faras will be taking over, and I'm sure we're going to have great fun. You've already mentioned Fairy Vision a little bit previously before we went on to a break. You know that you've had the pleasure of seeing them a little bit, seeing their journey quite in a way as well. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see them with Art Frost, of course, in tow, with Kickert, who's been a part of the scene for such a long time, and Patsy, of course, we can never forget. But before we go to the detail of the rosters, let's overview the playoffs bracket as we stand right now, with the two quarterfinals on the right side already being decided yesterday, with Illuminar and Bait facing off each other, and Monte versus Bleed. And then on the left side, the quarterfinals are yet to be filled out. 3D Max, the first team of today to make it to the QF, and then we have Guns 5 versus Gaming Gladiators that will be, of course, facing off against 3D Max, one or the other. And right here, right now, as mentioned, Perivision versus Permita. And starting off with Parivision, as I said, we've got Patsy, Kickert, Belchanuk, Artfrost, and Alpha. They'll be performing here. And I'm hella excited. I haven't seen Kickert in a while. I haven't seen Patsy in a while. And, well, Artfrost, obviously, for what it's worth, is always been on point. But again, haven't seen him in a little while myself as well. And I believe it's fixed now. I hope it's fixed.
I think it should be. I'm just trying to get word from production on whether or not my audio is actually going through. Production, could we get some word on this? Okay, great.
Awesome.
Right, so... You know, Paravision is actually a team that I've really wanted to talk about, and the reason for that is that it feels like this team has all the pieces that you could possibly need to succeed, but they haven't really been able to materialize them. And now they were having some troubles with Jerry. He's been benched, and Alpha has been brought in as a stand-in, but I think that it wouldn't really be surprising if, you know, he gains a sort of space permanently on the roster. I'm actually not entirely sure if... like how permanent the situation with Alpha is at the moment, because you know we've got his photos for this tournament, especially in the Paravision jersey as well. So you know I'm still a little unsure, but as far as Paravision's recent performances are concerned, they've been a little uninspiring compared to what I would personally expect from them. They're a team that, yes, they're able to sort of coast through some of the smaller teams, but then any team that is contesting for that tier 1.5 spot, they'll have a lot of trouble. Like, they're not able to put up a solid performance against 3D Max. They're going close games against 9 Pandas, teams like Aurora and Sinners, which, you know, with the pieces they've got pieces like Patsy and Artfrost and Kickert, they're probably meant to be on sort of a higher level, right? And on the other side, we've got Permita, who've been having some roster shuffles or roster issues of their own. I mean, Tomiko, he's been brought back in. He parted ways with Permita a little while ago, and then he went over to 9, and then 9 Academy, and then it has brought him all the way back here. So full circle. And they've also been having trouble with sort of filling their last slot, and recently, they've brought in Spavaku.
Spavak, I think
Spavak.
is the best way to put it.
Oh,
yeah,
because like on HLTV, right? There's also a U
yeah,
at the end.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna make our lives much easier if we just say Spavak.
Okay. I'm glad we just have a gentleman's handshake over there. And
exactly.
The issue is, right? I am completely unsure of what to expect from him, because he is a relatively new player. This is the only team that he's been in that has achieved a level that puts him in a position to have matches registered on HLTV. So obviously this is a bit experimental. I'm pretty sure that Permita themselves don't exactly know the deal they're getting. But if it's anything like Grix, then I'd be very happy to have a teammate like that.
I mean, mentioning Grix, man, yesterday was one hell of a showcase for him, wasn't it? And yeah, with the head-to-head being Beanox and Belchanok, I'd say perhaps Artfrost, you know, would be the better choice in my eyes, but Belchanok as well, from what we've seen, he's done pretty well. I want to mention a little bit further on Permita's side their roster issues, as you've already kind of you know, mentioned yourself. They've had a few changes that have been not the greatest, you could say, right? They've had Tomiko in and out all in the last few weeks, in the last few months. Mary, the only real consistent factor that obviously kind of brings the stability to the team as well. And, well, I kind of miss Veggie. I'm not going to lie. I do miss Veggie quite a little bit. I think he, you know, was a great factor that brought quite a little bit to the team. But obviously now in the new team, Project G, we'll see how he does. In any case, not to get too caught on this, what are your thoughts on the overall stability currently of Paravision compared to Permita, or how do you think Paravision will do against Permita?
I think Paravision definitely have more stability. You know, they've only had to switch one piece now, but in general, I think Paravision have been struggling a tiny bit. Now, we do have the veto up ready, though, and I'm not entirely sure how much this veto is going to matter. Permita, obviously, they're probably dipping their toes in the water with some new experimentation as well. Paravision wouldn't be surprised if they were doing the same, but I do expect a tiny bit more map stability if you're looking at a team like Paravision. Now, get to see the first bans. Inferno being banned out. It's a map that Paravision completely refrained from, and I'm sad to see that we don't have Nexus anymore because he would have loved the fact that Permita have Dust 2 as their first ban.
He would have been happy for sure.
Yeah. Now, Mirage of Vertigo being the first 2 maps being played, it's pretty much according to expectation because they ban each other's best maps. You kind of end up in that middle ground. Mirage for Paravision. It's a pretty good map for Permit as well, so don't think either team is worried. Vertigo, almost a map that Permita themselves don't really like playing all that much, but it is a map that they're cornered into playing because everything else that they've got on the table, you know, Nuke, Anubis, Dust 2, like these are maps that Paravision, I think they would be able to eke wins out of them from. So Permita, I think map pool has really been a bit of a struggle recently. Vertigo is one of their better maps, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good map for them at all, right? I'm still waiting for some new results to come up, though, because with the addition of Tomiko again in the roster, and then Spavak, as we mentioned, and agreed on the pronunciation of, this is a team that is going to be ever-changing in the next couple of months. So it's almost like we're getting to commentate a game where 2 new storylines are going to be developed. I'm expecting new things from Paravision, expecting new things from Permita, and I'd love to see Permita potentially punch above their weight, even with sort of the shuffles they've got. They could, yeah, they could.
I think they absolutely can. I think they've got the players for it. You know, Beanox, Mary, Tomiko, they're pretty damn solid players that you can kind of rely upon to being a stable entity in the squad to always, you know, pop off with 2-3 kills. You hold the line, you know, anchor the sites. The veto, I just want to touch upon that Nuke. I think it would have been better for Paravision to go for Nuke. It gives them a bit more of that tactical depth. Mirage is definitely a map where it allows Permita to win, right? That's my take, because Mirage, a map that we've played so many times, you can't really... You know, you can't really be on hit or miss here. This is basically a map that you played a million times over, and there is no X factor for me besides the individuals. So let's see how... Kicking off.
is going exactly the way we expected it, although our predictions weren't really heard because our voices were silenced.
We were censored. No. Well, censored by, of course, technology. Unfortunately, AI decided they won't like us too much, but it is going to be, as you said, 3-2 Permita. I've voiced my concerns about the Mirage being chosen, but it seems like Paravision is still handling this pretty well. And, you know, Artfrost already with the op-out, the entries on middle here on the round 6. Looks like 4th round is right around the curve here at the bend, as we are going to be looking at a pretty solid start on Mirage. And, you know, we opened up the discussion, or at least I opened up the discussion of why perhaps I don't agree with the Mirage choice for Paravision. As the Puggy style map, it's always, you know, it's always going to give a better chance to a team like Permita, who's gone through the roster changes, who are not as stable as they used to be, and it will affect potentially their chances for the better to win this map. And that's why, personally, I would have preferred to see Nuke. But hey, Paravision, their choice. Let's see if they can make it work, as round 4 is now confirmed.
Yeah, they are making it work so far, but I've got to quickly shed some light on this initial performance by Spavik. You know, we've not really seen we've not seen a huge sample size from this man, and thinking that he's already kicking it off in pretty solidly against Paravision, I think it's a good sign. In fact, he even looked very competitive in that 1 versus 2 earlier. I'm pretty sure the audio was still off back then, but I did say at that point that his mechanics do look pretty solid. Now,
they do.
He's going to have a player creep up on him, so I don't think this AWP is going to be taking it into the next round. Ooh, reshot? No. Spavik found. And he really labored for the AWP, but he's unfortunately not able to carry it over to that next day. Permita, 2 rounds on the board, about a couple grand in the back pockets, and pistols are what they're going to try and negotiate this round with. Paravision, about as locked and loaded as you could possibly want to be. The full belt of util, nothing missing.
Love the cash that they have as well. It's going to keep them floating for a little while longer, even if in case of a loss. But here, unlikely that will be the scenario. Like the MP9 from Masked, I think it's going to give them a bit of a chance to bank up a bit, you know, maybe get that op out later on. Spavak is on a deagle, so investing another $700. We'll see how that works out at the end. Max loss bonus will come into play as well, so he's going to be at around $5,750, just enough for the op and mini kev plus a grenade.